so I can be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me, and I can't hold it much longer. Gotta let go so I can be free. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Frazier Friday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Borgata in Atlantic City. Scott Braun, Todd, Frazier. Oh, he's on one today. Erik, Kratz.
Frazier Friday.
I think he's just moving his arms. I don't think he actually knows what's going on because now the music's done and he's still dancing.
Sorry.
I think he's excited for the Little League World Series, too.
That's
I
it.
am very excited.
What's the official Todd Father start date?
The 16th?
The 16th.
We have our meeting
Wednesday.
the 15th. Wednesday is the
5
first
days.
game. Yeah. Getting
5
going.
days away.
I've been watching these youngsters get after it. So.
We're going to clip off so many Todd Father quotes to run on the show.
There I am right there.
We might have to. Oh, there you go.
Look at that. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
It's going to be glorious.
We're excited for that. We're going to talk to Lou Merloni, former big leaguer and also current broadcaster on the Boston Red Sox. And Rowdy's back, Rowdy Tellez, and his magical finger injury that is maybe going to get
We're
shown
still
to
waiting
the
for
world.
confirmation.
Okay, waiting for confirmation. And Jose Trevino of the New York Yankees will also join us on FT Live, running on Stadium for hour number 1. And just want to remind everyone that we are at Borgata. You can come see us basically every other week, all season long. And Atlantic City's best live entertainment is on stage year-round at Borgata. Visit borgata.com for the full entertainment lineup. Let's charge the damn mound, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw's back for the LA Dodgers, who are already rolling and now looking even stronger. This was his first start since June 27th. Some Dodger fans are like, leave him in the game. Dude, he just came back. 67 pitches. He was solid against the Rockies in a 2-1 win. It was the Max Muncy game. Muncy hit the homer and took the bases loaded walk. But for Clayton, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 4 strikeouts for a team that now has a season-high 6.5 game lead in the division. They've won 21 of 29 games. This is exactly what they do, Kratzy.
That's why I'm
Clayton
shaking my
Kershaw's
head.
not going to pitch a full season. This is perfect for him.
I mean, it's like obviously they don't want him to get injured. They would love to get 30 to 32 starts out of him. They're okay with it. Like they built their team around it. They bring up rookies around it, and they went around the trade deadline to add to it. They knew what they had, and it's awesome. Like chugging along. You can't not pick them. Not that you have to pick them in the World Series, but you can't not pick them until they get dethroned, completely dethroned.
Yeah, and I think but not what the Dodgers do. And the bottom line is when a guy gets injured, somebody steps up. It's kind of like the Astros situation, same kind of deal. Somebody always steps up and helps them out.
Or they pick up Ahmed Rosario. He had like 13 RBIs on the season.
Yeah.
He had 7 in his first 3 games. Like, I know the numbers aren't right, but it's crazy. Like, they do that kind of thing. Joey Gallo last year, he strikes out all the time. Yeah, he still struck out for the Dodgers, but they got actual value out of him. And they just keep doing it. Jason Hayward's swing is still long. It still goes out and around everything, but they've gotten value out of him. They put him in situations where he can succeed. Oh, and he plays good defense. And you never hear the Dodgers say, well, I don't want to give up prospect capital for this trade.
No.
Because they have $1 billion prospect capital. And then the next draft comes and they make more prospect capital. They're a fun team.
No doubt about it. Kiki Hernandez, Max Muncy. I mean, every time Max gets in the box, I feel like he's going to do damage.
And he's hitting 200.
Yeah, I was going to say. And he's not even having his best career year or a year, very good year. So it's like, I don't care about average. I care about what you do in big situations. And these big situations, whether it's pitching wise or hitting wise, they come through.
Freddie Freeman.
Who's that?
Should be equal MVP votes. I think Acuna has him right now.
Really?
But Acuna, what does Acuna have more of?
Steals.
Okay, because we're big into stolen bases in baseball.
Now we are.
Now
Well,
we
they're
are.
helpful. I mean, you want to run down the line of
That's a whole
comping
nother.
them?
That's a whole nother conversation we could
What,
have.
the MVP
I
conversation?
think
Yeah.
Acuna. I think
And we'll have
Acuna.
time for that.
It's not for today.
Yeah.
I think Acuna should
Al-
win it.
Also,
But
his
Freddie
teammate.
is doing unbelievable.
He is.
Unbelievable.
I still have Acuna, but yes,
Absolutely, I do.
Freddie is playing like an MVP right now for the team.
Yes.
And I don't think we mentioned this, which we should, not just because we're biased, because he comes on the show a lot. Lance Lynn had the worst ERA among all starting pitchers. The worst. White Sox fans were all over him. Now, I will give credit to front offices who don't just look at one stat like that nowadays. They look at probably 500. And for him, they said, still like the shape of his pitches, velocity down a little, but not a ton. He's starting to use some secondary pitches that he had never used before. Like, let's unleash that curveball a little bit more. And all of a sudden, how does Lance Lynn look for the Dodgers? Pretty damn good.
Percentage-wise, twice as many curveballs in his 2 outings.
Mm-hmm.
He has gone from – he almost has flipped his season opponents' batting averages. Like, lefties were smashing him. He had nothing for lefties. And in my opinion, based on the numbers, they said, go with the fastball. His fastball's got a little cut. So he's just cutting that ball on the lefties, which he's facing more because they stack lefties against him in the lineup. And righties have actually hurt him. So I think that's something he can sustain the lefty success and improve the righty success. He's another great pickup.
Yeah, props to the Dodgers. So looking good. Clayton's back. We talked, if you look back to yesterday's show, about Blake Trinan and Walker Buehler both should be back for this team at some point as well. So the rich get richer. And I want to hit the Baltimore Orioles picking up a dub yesterday because history and the streak stays alive. What streak? Not being swept. 76 series streak for the Baltimore Orioles without getting swept. 76.
Since what? It's not just a random 76.
I call it a certain era. It is the
Yes.
Adley era.
Yes.
Adley Rutschman was called up May of last year. Since then, this man has never experienced being swept in the big leagues. At some point, you guys need to talk to him and be like, yo, let me just let you know this is how it is, right?
Shit.
You lose 3 in a
No.
row,
Why?
you feel like shit,
No.
you fly out to
No.
wherever.
Nope.
Oh,
He doesn't accept that.
Why?
Buster Rutschman does not accept that.
why?
Buster.
Adley Posey.
Listen,
right.
you know how big that is? And I always talk to teams before the season starts when we have our team meetings. Like, not getting swept, that one win helps you so much in the long run. All right, you lost 2 out of 3. I get it. But that one win, we lost the division by 4 games. Well, how many times you get swept? 4 times. If you could find a way to muster up that one win, this is phenomenal. This is a streak where, it's kind of going under the radar. Now it's starting to pick up a little bit because it's 76. That's unbelievable.
I'll give you some more stats on it. So, first off, it's the longest streak since the 1940s. The Cardinals had a streak going
Kratz,
from
his first
42
game.
to 44.
For
Yeah.
the 1940s.
What was that like?
Oh, well, lefty shooter Jones. That's what we called him.
Yeah.
He threw a lot of complete games.
He ate
so,
porridge for
every
breakfast,
3.
lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was a big.
They had the good
He
nick-
actually created the hot dog.
Did you create those nicknames back in the day?
I didn't know.
Little oil can, Jimmy.
Oil can. So it was probably the closest it's been since that streak has been running, or one of the closest it's been to being snapped, because I watched the late stages of this one yesterday. And by the way, Adley homered, which
Shocker.
we'll get to in just a second. But Felix Bautista struggled again. 2 hits, 2 walks, a wild pitch, gave up a run. 1-run game, they end up pulling off the dub. At one point, Kyle Tucker steps up. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go again. He walked him to load the bases, and Bautista got out of it. But, I mean, you could have some wear and tear for some guys that haven't pitched in meaningful baseball in their careers. So I'm keeping an eye on them. But they do pull off the dub over the Astros. And Adley's home run was historic. So let's show this. It is the first Baltimore Orioles hitter to hit as a left-handed batter. Adley's a switch, and hit a home run opposite field over Mount Baltimore. That one says that's from Petriello, Baltimore. I like Mount Baltimore. That thing's a mountain out there and left. So you can see where all the homers went. And for him, finally, someone hits it out to left. Now, there had been an opposing player that did it earlier this season, James Outman. But
Yep.
do you change your approach when you're there, knowing that your percentage chance of going deep in that ballpark is like almost nothing? Are you like, If you're a lefty hitter, you're like, yo, I'm pulling this. I'm not going.
Yeah, coming from a true lefty hitter as myself.
Yeah.
No. Just kidding. I was a righty.
I know, but I'm saying.
No.
like,
Thank
you.
No, I
Thank
think
you.
Scott doesn't think I was any good at baseball. It's okay.
you can't give me analysis as a
No,
lefty.
I'm going to. I'm going to explain.
I'm giving you more credit.
Thank you.
You got you.
384 down the line. I didn't even know it was that far down the line. That is ridiculous, for one. Why did they move it back so far? I get it. It was short. I get it. But we're not playing in Colorado. The ball, if it's 384 down the line, you got to hit the damn ball. I wouldn't change my approach just because you're only playing 3 games there. Oh, I'm going to change my approach for 3 games. I'm not Tony Gwynn. I couldn't do that. God bless him. But, there's not many players that could do that. So for me, I would keep my approach. I'd be mad if the guy got the ball caught at the track, but what are you going to do?
One follow-up. What if you're on the Orioles, though, and you play half your games there?
Yeah,
and you're
now-
like, damn, I can't hit a homer here anymore.
Well, Kratz, you could take that one.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Don't give me
that's
too
why I
much
wanted.
credit.
That's why I wanted to know what you had to say, because
Yeah.
he said if you're a good hitter,
Yeah.
do you change your approach?
Well, he's
like
asking the wrong guy.
for me, I would watch good hitters, and there was good hitters that routinely would change their approach,
Yep.
whether they tried to or not. I never got to ask them. The 2 guys that stick out to me, Lance Berkman and Carlos Lee, when they were with the Astros, El Caballo. Lance would hit fastballs to left when he was at home with the Astros. He knew that those Crawford boxes would help him so much. That high wall. That's the other thing. In Baltimore, that wall is, I think it's 17 feet high.
So
You got to get it over that. Anyway,
You're not getting it, basically.
You're not
you know
getting it
how I
as a
talk.
lefty.
Like, you're not getting it. 2 humans have done it the entire season, so it's not happening for you.
and one's superhuman.
Yeah.
But Lance would do that, and he would take those hits that way at home. When we go on the road and face him in Pittsburgh, he's not trying to go to left center.
No.
He's trying to pull that ball. And so he would get up on the plate a little bit extra, and he would catch more fastballs out in front. El Caballo would do the same thing. He would pull the ball a lot more, so you'd have to face him and attack him in different ways because of where they were playing. And their splits were so different, not just like overall splits, but their spray charts were different home and away. So, yeah, I think that stuff definitely goes into mine. I know the first day they took BP with these new fences, somebody hit a ball, and it went like Michael Jackson off the wall. Hee hee. And it hit, and they just went, oh, well. Yeah. Like dudes when they first opened Camerco, dudes when they first opened Petco back in the day, like guys were mashing balls, and it was like not caught.
384, man.
Yeah. It's okay for a righty. Like your best bolt,
No.
you're going to get it over there, but you want that pop up to left to go out. You want that oppo shot from a lefty to go out if you're a lefty. Not
Guys were
today.
pissed too.
Yeah.
So Ryan Mountcastle, who's had a great year, at one point, I remember last year, I just found it, he hit a double to left center. That would have been a homer in every other park. It went 407. Imagine you hit an oppo smash to
No.
left center.
No. He pulled it.
Oh,
Mountcastle.
he pulled it. Yeah.
Mountcastle.
I think
That's
he's
right.
talking about lefty, yes. But he is a righty.
But imagine,
Right.
imagine you're a lefty and you're like, yo,
Oh,
no.
I smashed that guy 407, opposite field, left center, double.
Not
Just,
him.
I thought about that. My son just hit an opposite field home run in his travel ball game.
Let's go.
Lefty. He's a
It was
switch
great.
hitter.
Let's go.
He went oppo. Imagine that ball just goes. What are the dudes? They're not coming in saying, "Hey, good job, good job." They're like, "No juice,"
They're like, they walk
but no, it went over.
And
Hey,
it gives you a lot of confidence as a pitcher, too.
time
Think
out.
about that.
When your kid hit the
And
homer,
signing pitchers.
when your kid hit that homer, did you take your shirt off? Were you going bonkers? Or were you like that boy, that's my man? Or were you like,
Did you catch it live or?
No, I didn't catch it live.
Okay.
I was home. I probably would have been relaxed.
that's ridiculous.
I probably would have been
You
relaxed.
should have been there. Not happy. You missed that homer.
Shame on me.
That's all right.
It was a road
more
game?
to come. More to come.
They're all road games and travel ball. There's no home games.
That's true.
You're hoping for an hour or less drive.
Yeah.
And lastly, just a shout out to Paul Skeens, who made his pro debut, little 1-2-3 inning in the Florida Coast League they call it now.
Yep.
I think it used to be Gulf Coast.
It used to be Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and now it's the Florida Coast League. It's basically just
Is that low A? What is that?
no, it's rookie ball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, rookie ball. He'll be there for, what, 30 seconds? And then he'll move up?
He's going to be there forever if he's throwing 11 pitches.
Yeah, he's going to have to throw
11 pitches.
Like,
and
why is he there?
Most of them were a hundo plus.
Against 17-year-olds.
Wouldn't you want to just start him in at least high A?
People are so scared. Development people are so scared of hurting pitchers.
Exactly.
Like their ego?
No, physically.
They're throwing 100. What's the problem?
They're so afraid of just the physical.
Mentally, too.
Scared. There's no mental. This dude just pitched in.
But if he got lit up in high A and they sent him there, all of a sudden, like, oh no, let's talk to him.
No,
let's get him somebody.
I mean, they might do that, but that's not player development. Needs to let guys throw.
He did pitch a pretty full season in college just now, though.
Okay, so when is he? So to me, say, when are you going to be in the big leagues? When is Paul Skeens going to pitch for you in the big leagues?
Next year, please.
Next year. So if he had 100 and I think I saw he had 120 innings, like 1 million strikeouts.
Yeah.
Just under 1 million. We want to be accurate on this show. If you want him to throw 170 innings next year, let him get 30 innings this year. Mm-hmm. So you don't have that jump. So you don't have, or this is the real brain, but this is the real moment. How about you teach the guy to not have to throw every one of his pitches 100 miles an hour every time?
But he doesn't even need to use his secondary stuff in rookie ball. He's like,
yeah, but that's
it moves, no one's touching it, who cares?
That's what he does need to do.
Yeah,
he needs to command those.
And here's the thing.
Yeah, but he had a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing happened.
Yeah, but he's playing against 17-year-olds, like you said. He needs to develop those pitches because 100 gets hit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are.
Hunter Green.
100 will get hit.
Yeah. And Hunter Green has life.
It plays.
He doesn't have. He has like that arm side run. He doesn't have the true like late life in the up of the zone. He's got to hit it.
Yep.
He's got to command every. So if I'm only letting him throw 11 pitches, I need you to mix in the breaking balls. I need to see your strike percentage on breaking balls. Mix in a changeup. And maybe with his arm angle, a changeup's going to be tough. You're going to have to get a guy that can teach him some type of – because a split's out. If you throw a split from there, that thing's going to get waffled. Mm-hmm. But, so there's things like that have to be developed because he's not like like Strasburg. When he first came up, he was that overhand banger where if you throw an overhand banger and you're throwing 106 like Strasburg was and you get hit by the banger – you don't want that.
I will say this, though. Pirates know what they're doing, okay? They have developed so many studs, so leave them alone, okay? First poll question. That's sarcasm. First poll question of the day. Check it out, and you can vote either by hitting the QR code on the screen on Stadium. Otherwise, you can go to watchstadium.com/foul territory. The question, which team on the outside of a playoff spot will get in? Cubs, Mariners, Red Sox, Reds, or Yankees? Think about it. We'll talk to Lou Merloni, who covers the Sox and does a lot of radio up north in Boston, next on Stadium. Max, do you have respect for what the Mets tried to do? Because, they spent a lot in free agency. You were a part of the union. To me, and we can say whatever we want on this show, which is important. There are some owners that are not doing much, not spending much, censoring their broadcasters. And then you have Steve Cohen, who speaks to the media all the time, tweets, spends money. That's good for the game, no?
Yeah. And that's what stinks about this whole situation is that, Steve really put himself out there, really went after and tried to make himself, build a winning team. We had that vision. Every player thought, we were on a team that was going to be able to, go deep in the postseason. We won 100 ball games last year. Like everything was telling you, things are definitely trending up in New York. And, like you said, there's other owners that don't do that, come up short, when the team needs it. And that's frustrating as a player because you feel like you're so close to being able to do something great, for the organization. And you're there, and they, a lot of owners sometimes they don't. So I was very fortunate that to be a part of the Mets and Steve and try to be a part of the vision. It just really stinks that it didn't work out.
And now back to foul territory.
And we're back on Stadium. Scotty Braun, Erik Kratz, Todd Frazier, and Lou Merloni is joining us in just a sec on FT Live to talk Red Sox, because you look at the standings and they're still hanging around. They're 4 games out of a playoff spot.
I mean, they're right there, dude. 46, 47 games left. Watch out. That whole it's a pretty stacked line right there. It's a pretty
The whole AL East.
pretty good AL East. What is it?
Division?
Playoff picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many are going to make it from the AL East, you think?
Well, besides Baltimore or Tampa, but probably Baltimore winning the division. Do you think?
I think Tampa.
2 wild cards there out of 3, and then one
I can
from
see
the West.
one sneaking in.
I'll go. Whoever doesn't win the AL West, Rangers or Astros. I mean, the Mariners are.
That's true.
They're
too.
creeping.
I'm not giving away my poll question, but
Oh, true. Okay.
You should have.
you should have. But yeah, like the Red Sox, just like they said in Rounders, hanging around.
Yes, that's how we said it.
Splash the pot, hanging around.
Hanging.
Yeah.
And this is part of my pick for later. Do you know who's back tonight? We had Kershaw back yesterday.
Oh,
Who's the vet?
well, the grim sleeper,
I don't know.
Your former teammate.
skinny left-handed pitcher, throws a cheese.
Chris Sale's back tonight.
This is a big one for him, man. He's been back a couple times. Haven't looked
Yeah,
good.
he's been through it.
This is it. He's if he's healthy now, please, Lord, just let him be healthy for the rest of the way.
give him a little run, right?
Wow, would that make it exciting in Boston? They'd be packing the car all the way around Fenway Park.
Well, this was part of
You
their
were on
excuse,
one
which
today,
we'll talk
man.
to Lou about in a sec. Part of the excuse was we have all these pitchers that are on their way back.
Stop it.
Tanner Houck and Garrett Whitlock. Chris Sale comes back tonight. No. Their offense, actually, I will say, has been exceeding expectations. It's been pretty consistently solid. Is it the best offense in the bigs? No. But it's been good enough that I didn't need to see them do much on that front, especially with the way Tristan Cassis has been smashing the ball over the past couple months, too.
What did we say yesterday? Everybody needs pitching. Scherzer said it. So you don't even need to listen to us. Scherzer goes, who doesn't need extra starting pitching?
Extra everything.
Well, Paxton's going to go down. Sale's going to go down at some point. Guys
Yeah,
that
those guys have had a lot of injuries. You're not getting full starts out of them.
Bayo has been awesome.
I felt a little offended when Max said that to me yesterday. If you want to look at the Scherzer interview, I'm obviously half joking, but I was like, Chris Young just keeps adding pitching, the GM of the Rangers. He was like, that's what everyone wants to do. I'm like, well, not the Red Sox. Let's talk about it right now.
Not the Orioles.
Former big leaguer joining us right now, current broadcaster, knows all about this ball club. Lou, great to see you. It's been a little bit. Let's get right into it because we're tight on time. So do you feel like there's enough pitching here for them to at least keep making noise for the next month and a half?
Yeah, only if Chris Sale comes back and is unhealthy the rest of the year, which is something he really hasn't been the last few years. And, Tanner Houck will be back on this next road trip. Same with Garrett Whitlock. I think they're going to use both of them, in like a 2-3 inning role. Can they both stay healthy? I mean, Houck got a line drive in the face. For the most part, he's a healthy guy, but Whitlock's had some injuries. So now, because they didn't add an arm, and that's really all they needed was an arm, just to reset a bullpen and put guys where they need to be. They didn't go get that guy. And because of that, you're going to rely on these guys coming back, not only good, but to remain healthy the rest of the year.
If you were in your job that you were in last year, before you're now working Sox games, would you still give the same answer?
Probably not. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'd be heated, and I am. It's you still are because it was. I mean, they didn't need Verlander. They didn't need Scherzer. They needed a guy to go out there, give him 5, keep him in the game. just so they could take guys like Schreiber, who should be used in the 7th inning, guys like Bernardino, who's their best lefty. That's why you needed a starter, to put those guys in a role in the 6th and 7th inning, as opposed to starting in the 1st and then wondering how we're going to get through the 6th and 7th. And that's kind of where they've been at really for 6 weeks.
I think it's phenomenal that, they're in the race here, because in the beginning of the season, everybody pretty much wrote them off. They're like, the Red Sox, it's going to be a rebuilding year. They got rid of a couple guys here and there. What do you think the main, who was the purpose and who got this going here? I know the pitching, but is there a couple guys where you're like, they kind of took off and are kind of leading this team in the right direction now?
Well, Justin Turner, I mean, he's a guy that, when you lose Bogarts, you're like, how do you get leadership? And everybody knew the minute he walked in, he was going to be the leader of this team just because of the experience and the personality that he had. So I think he's really helped out. But the difference really is that 8th and 9th inning. Like, Chris Martin has been absolute money. Like, he has locked down the 8th inning. Kenley Jansen's come in, turned the clock back. He's throwing 95, 96, 94. He's been really, really good. So when they have the lead after, in those late innings, they finish the games, which is a complete turnaround from last year. But a lot had to go right. You're right. Like, nobody thought this team would even compete or even have the record they have now. And a lot has gone right, offensively. Duran, Casas, Bayo's come up. Turner, Yoshida worked. He was right on that. The back end of the bullpen, they were right on that. It's just that the injuries to this pitching staff and the lack of going out and maybe adding to that has really come to hurt them here in the last 3 weeks.
Who is going to be a better player at the end of their career, Jarren Duran or Tristan Casas?
Ooh, that is a tough one. I'm going to go with what I've seen from Jarren Duran because he's improved defensively. He is one of the most electric players in the game. Like, when I get to watch him on a night-to-night basis, however many doubles he's up to now, and I'm not even sure, 31, 32, at least 12 of them are singles for normal human beings. You know what I mean? Even just fast guys. He turns singles into doubles. He has gotten much better defensively, which is, to me, the separator, the base pass and the defense. Because Tristan, even though he's become an absolute beast at the plate since May 1st, defensively, there's a lot there to work on. Like, the first step left and right. So defensively, there's still a lot of work. Jarren Duran, the jump that he's made this year, I don't think anybody could have seen it coming.
So I played with both of these guys in the qualifiers for the U.S. Tournament, and we're practicing or whatever, and I'm looking at Tristan. I'm like, man, this is a big boy. We're taking BP. He's launching left and right, and then I see Duran come up, just stocky. I'm like, look at the build on these guys. And then you got me, just dumpy old me, trying to hit a home run all the time. But it was money because Duran batted second, he batted third, Casas batted third, and they had a little old me batting fourth, but they'd always get on base. And I think my question to you is, has Duran and Tristan pretty much solidified that they're going to be on this, have a spot from here on forward moving with the Red Sox?
Yeah, and I think it's a little different scenarios. I think Tristan had to perform, right? They put a lot on it. I mean, they pretty much avoided that position for 2 years, and it killed them. They're just waiting for Tristan Casas. They didn't want to go long-term in any first baseman. So, and he's performed offensively. And with Duran, it really came out of nowhere. Like, when Duvall went down, it was like, oh, we're going to bring this kid up. He's really struggled the last couple of years, defensively, offensively. And he just sort of took off. But I think both of them have solidified themselves. Like Jarren Duran earlier in the year had like a bad 50 at-bats. And everybody was like, that's it, get rid of him. This is who he is. He has a good start. They figured him out. Now he's at the point, he's put a really good year together to where it was just a bad 50 at-bats. Like a rookie comes up, you don't know much about him. He's a bad 50 at-bats, you get rid of him. If a veteran does that, it's ho-hum. It's no big deal. It's baseball. It's a season. And I think he's actually at the point now where if he's struggling for 40, 50 at-bats, then I think he's solidified himself.
If you go into their clubhouse, if they let you into the clubhouse and have a closed-door meeting with their players,
yeah,
you say, JT, you sit down, I'm going to lead this meeting. What do you tell this team to make the playoffs and then make a World Series run?
Well, I would look at the three guys you got back, and that the arms, and that's Sale, Houck, and Whitlock. And we know what these guys can do. We're not asking them to stay healthy for, 32 starts. We're asking these guys to stay healthy for a month and a half. And if they do, and we can have a 13-man staff that really doesn't have any weak links, we can do some damage. Then I look over at the offense and say, now it's time to pick it up because they've really slacked here recently. Like Trevor Story coming back, I never thought he was the savior. He missed so much time. I want him to play gold glove defense. I know offensively he would struggle a little bit, but it's the arms that they desperately needed to solidify this staff. And I would just say, we've got the arms now. I know we're 4 back, and I know our schedule's a bitch. But we have played our best baseball against some of the best teams in this game. We have one of the better records, over 500, against some of the better teams. So let's take care of Detroit. Let's take care of Washington. and then let's go face this gauntlet with a healthy rotation and a pitching staff and see what we can do.
Did you see the reports, Lou, from Ken Rosenthal about how they were looking into Verlander, and then at the same time, the Marlins thought they were close to acquiring Justin Turner? One of the biggest problems I have right now with the way that some front offices are operating is they're basically making their decisions on if they're going for it, on if they can win a trade. I'm like, you should just say, hey, we're in this year or we're out this year. Not like, ooh, could we get a good prospect for Turner? Just think the way that operates, like revolving your whole season, a whole year around one player at a trade deadline is a strange approach. I'm not just picking on the Red Sox because many GMs did this. The Yankees definitely did this, and many others where they like didn't know what they were doing. Don't you think that's a weird approach, and especially for fans, a bad way to kind of send a message to where you're at?
Yeah, and this has kind of been, I feel like, Bloom is building some things here, but the deadline is the last few years is when it's really kind of people have lost faith, because he hasn't gone for it. He hasn't brought anybody in. And I do believe in analytics. Okay. I believe there's a place for them in the game. I think they can tell the story about why a guy struggles, why he's doing well, maybe a predictability about what's going to happen next. But when you get to the trade deadline, there's a value, some kind of metric they put on prospects. And it is one of those like 6 years of cost control, versus 2 months of this guy, or 6 years of, if I got to trade 2 players, they look at it as 12 years of cost control over this player for a year or a year and a half. And there isn't an analyst in the country that'll tell you that's worth it. And that's the problem. That's where you need to put it aside. That's where you start looking at this team and this clubhouse and these players and say, yeah, I know, but you know what? We get the draft next year. We get to draft 20 new kids next year. We get to replenish our system. If we hoard these guys and we hold on to them, great. MLB pipeline puts us at 3 or 4. That's awesome. But everyone else that's 12 or 13 is there because they gave up 2 or 3 kids and they're actually in the postseason. So I'm with you, with that approach. It's got to be a balance. And it certainly needs to be, I think, in a city like Boston.
What is going to be more advantageous for the Red Sox, to miss or to make the playoffs this year? Because sometimes you miss the playoffs, all of a sudden, this booing of the Red Sox ownership, like, all right, we missed the playoffs, even though we didn't try to make the playoffs, like, we got to really kind of push all in now. Or, the pressure that Boston fans have put on has been awesome, has been amazing. And I hope they keep it up. But if they make the playoffs, ownership can be like, look at us, look what we did. We didn't have to do anything, and we made the playoffs.
Yeah, stay the course, right? Because, and that's really what happened in 2021. It was, they got all the way to the ALCS, and it was like, we're doing the right thing. To your point, I understand it because it's one of those, like, if you just fall flat, if you just finish these last 46 games or whatever it is and just tank and finish in last place, there's going to be like people just not going to stand for it. If you get close, it's, well, we played meaningful games, we stuck the path, and look, we still kept all of our prospects. So it's I would like to think that they get the message anyway. I would like to think that getting to, like, playing meaningful games in Boston isn't the end game. Just getting to the postseason isn't the end game. The end game is to be one of the favorites, is to be preseason one of the 2 or 3 because you have talent, and then go out and play and then help the team at the deadline. That's what what I would like to see them get to. So hopefully it doesn't matter.
Hey, Lou, what did you think of the Yankees trade deadline? Because, hey, I'm picking on the Red Sox. What was your favorite, and I'm going to ask this to Trevino later, their catcher is out for the year. What was your favorite pickup for the Yankees at the trade deadline? Because they did so much to convince me that they really believe in this 2023 ball club.
Yeah, I don't have much choices, do I? I think it's the guy that shredded the White Sox on his way out, right? So I guess
Keenan Middleton, that's it. So I just wanted to, obviously I'm kidding, but like, Lou, for me, it sounded like there were conversations that Cashman had with GMs to try and kind of sell off some players. They end up essentially doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
So same thing. I'm like, what is your plan here? Because you did have 4 or 5 rentals that you could have traded, that you could have picked up pieces for. So you're just staying completely pat? I just never believe in that.
See, maybe this is just like the homegrown Boston in me and the New York Boston thing. But to be honest with you, I think they had so many holes to fix it, almost they couldn't possibly do it because the bats weren't available. Like, I just offensively, I look at this team, I don't even recognize them. Sox played them a couple times without Judge, and I didn't even recognize them. You know what I mean? I was trying to figure out, who was in this lineup. And yeah, they've got some pitching. Yeah, their bullpen's always good, but offensively, they needed to add a lot of pieces. So, was I surprised they didn't do anything? I was actually surprised they didn't sell off some pieces like they did back in the day, and they got Glaber for Chapman, then they got Chapman back, right? And that's kind of like a path I thought they were going to take.
Hey, my question, I'm changing gears a little bit with you here. How was it playing behind Pedro Martinez, man? I think I would love to hear just what you think about him. And he's just so nasty to me. He was one of the best pitchers to ever do it. How was it playing behind him?
Yeah, to me, he was the best because of that. Playing second, playing short back when there was no pitch comp, and I could actually see the signs and know the signs, and I could just kind of see how he approached hitters. I learned so much about hitting by watching him pitch and what pitchers wanted to do and how he wanted to attack it. Even talking to him, how would you attack me? And it was pretty simple. It was just fastball away. You got no pop, which I understood because that was me. But it was fascinating to watch, and even at the end of his career when he's 92, 93, you're thinking about this is a guy back in the day throwing 97 as a starter when guys didn't do that. Now everybody does. Changeup was one of the best in the game. Breaking ball cutter. I mean, it was just fun to watch in the compete level. This guy didn't want 5 and dive. If he came out after 7, he wasn't happy, and just the compete level he had was fantastic. He might have got us in trouble a few times. A few hits batsmen here and there, but that was something you got to live with.
Hey, last thing from us here. Erik's been whispering in my ear. He's wondering how you get the hair like that and the beard to look that good.
It looks like a men's shaving commercial.
Tell you what.
Well, they wonder if I color my hair. Look at my beard. It's all gray.
I like that, though. That's like the new thing going on there. I don't mind it.
Lou, let's be honest, because this is an unfiltered show. That gray right there, come on, you're putting something in there. That's not just perfectly coming in there. Like
it is. It's just the way it comes in. My mother always tells me my grandfather passed away at like 65 with dark hair. So she's like, maybe you're going to be lucky enough, but it comes in here. It comes in here once in a while.
It's perfect. It's like it's like you dip your, it's like I'm not going to say what you dip but your chin just goes right into the gray and you're like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to TV.
Hey, perfect.
What can I tell you? I'm lucky that way, I guess. Don't be jealous. Grow a little something.
Man.
Grow a little something.
You said the answer that Kratz didn't want to hear. I just wake up like this.
Yeah. I wake up like this, Lou. I wake up like I look like I put my head outside of a bus.
You guys all still
Jared,
look
do
good.
we have the photo? We were ready for it? Okay. Lou, this is how we'll send you off. So our super director behind the scenes is a big Boston fan. When we brought up that you're coming on today, he is in the middle.
Yeah.
Our guy, Jeremy Meyer, right there.
Look at that. Holy smokes. See, now there's no gray in that thing, huh? I got nothing there. It's just
no, you could see, like you were the beard. It was a prospect back then. You're like, this thing is great now. It is going to age beautifully.
That was the perfect New England goatee. I think New England's the only place where the goatee still plays.
I agree.
Thank you, Kevin Youkilis and Lou Merloni.
You got it, boys.
Lou, appreciate you. Great talking to you, man. And we put Lou's Twitter. You too. Lou's Twitter info if you want to give him a follow. He's up there. Does great work, obviously, covering the Red Sox for a while now. At Lou Merloni, LOUMERLONI. We'll swing right back on Stadium with a look at tonight's matchups. There's actually quite a few to pick from.
Let's go.
We'll get it. Swing it to Philadelphia. Main event from last night. Michael Lorenzen with the no-hitter, and we can get to the trade component in a moment. But let's start with one part that I left out from the top because I wanted to save it for you because you've talked about it on Fair Territory and wrote about it in The Athletic. Are Philly fans getting a little soft? Like they suddenly love their ball players. You're new. You're struggling. Let's standing ovation for this guy. And Lorenzen pointed it out. He's like, I've never seen a crowd like this. And he referred to the Trey situation from the weekend.
Well, on Fair Territory and in what I wrote today, I was having a little fun. So let me give you some background. I went to school in Philadelphia, and I also worked there, or actually right outside was where I lived, in South Jersey for a couple of years. So I've got a good familiarity with the city. And what I wrote was, when I was in school, once drove to the vet, the old vet, with New York plates, going to a Giants-Eagles game, and people were throwing stuff at the car. Early in my career, I covered a game, one of the first baseball games I ever covered for my paper in New Jersey. They sent me on the day that Mike Schmidt took the field in a shoulder-length wig and sunglasses because he had told a Canadian reporter that the Philly crowd was a mob scene, uncontrollable, beyond help. So those quotes came out. He knew he was going to get heat, and he took the field like that. So what I wrote was, that's the Philly I know. This Philly with giving standing ovations to a struggling $300 million player, that is a bit out of character. Last night, much different. Guy's throwing a no-hitter. Of course the fans are going to be on his side. But I was just having fun with it. And hey, I even go back to last year when I wrote that I didn't think firing Joe Girardi would solve the Phillies' woes. Obviously, that was proven wrong. Philly fans, from the moment that came out through the end of the World Series and to this day, still give me grief about it. All well and good. Hey, they were right and I was wrong. So the Philly I know is this rough and tumble, demanding place, and now it seems to me it's a little softer.
And now back to foul territory.
Let's run it. We are back on Stadium Foul Territory. Todd Frazier, Erik Kratz, Scotty Braun. We are at Borgata in Atlantic City. All right, let's wrap up the first poll question. Let's get your answers, and I'll let everyone know. The leader of the pack right now in terms of a team on the outside looking in that's going to be in the playoffs, the Cubbies. And then second place, it's pretty close. Seattle, Boston's hanging around there too, but the Cubbies are the team. That's the selection. Do you agree?
It's going to be on the outside looking in. Or is going to make the playoffs.
Outside looking in that will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That was the qualification.
I want the Mariners so bad.
Ooh. I don't.
Why?
I don't know what it is, what I'm seeing.
They make the playoffs too often for you? Is that what it is?
I shouldn't say I don't want them in. I don't think they're going to get it.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Who do you want?
Take it back.
Who do you want?
I want the Reds. I mean,
you want the Reds, but which team do you think of that selection? Do you think it's Cincinnati?
I think it's Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I think it starts today.
Okay.
I think it starts today.
With their ace.
Hey, I bet. What movie?
Stay on Princess Bride.
No. What? I think you're close though. It's
Men in Tights.
Yes, Men in Tights.
Men in Tights. Anyway,
When he's
those are
walking
gimmicks.
down.
Go put there's one of those kiosks, BetMGM kiosk. Put your money where your mouth is.
I'll be right back.
Nope.
Did you just really take that off?
You did. That was loud.
It's time.
All right,
I want to see the
through a tough
Mariners.
stretch.
I want to see the Mariners.
Hey, I agree. I think they're still going to play better. I think they're going to be involved in it. I'll go
about you?
Seattle. I'll go Seattle.
Because Eric said it.
No, I've been on Seattle. I've been on Seattle all year.
I've been on Seattle. He sounded like one of the writers at the trade deadline. Like, I said that first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
I said that. I said that a week ago.
3.6 seconds before you did, and I actually said that they were in talks before you did. Second poll question: scan the QR code on the screen. Otherwise, watchstadium.com/foul territory. This one is Reds related because Joey Votto is a master on social media. He said, you get an entire year of Major League plate appearances. How many hits do you get? How many walks do you get? How many hit by pitches do you get? But for our poll, we just want to know, if you were in the big leagues and we gave you 650 plate appearances,
I'd love that.
How many hits would you get?
Just any random Joe.
You guys, it's not fair.
Just any random Joe?
Yes.
Like you.
Anybody that's touching the Twitter poll and going,
so
me.
Your options are 0, 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 25, more than 25. When you guys give your answers at the end, you can play it as how many do you think I would get? Because I'm the average Joe
what I was just
on the set here. So we'll play it that way. So have fun with that.
Scooter.
All right. Let's hit some last minute game time. Scooter Braun.
Braun.
He's great. Great guy on Twitter to follow.
He was great.
Last minute game time. You hit the Game Time app. Best in the biz. If maybe tonight you're looking to go to a game, I've got some options for you, gentlemen. Where would you like to go if you hit the Game Time app? You look for a flash deal and you're like, I'm going to that ballpark tonight. We're ready for you. It's you. What do you got?
What do you think?
Go. Come on, you can't go.
I'm going to Miami, baby. I'm getting on the PJ. I'm going to see Luzardo play Theodore Bronson DeBro, to be determined. I'm going down there. Let's go, baby.
Who's pitching tonight for the Yanks? They don't know yet.
Theodore Bronson DeBro.
You like that? Hey, listen, Bob Lorenz told me the name, and I screwed up the last two. I made the B and the D up. He's going to be mad at me, but it was Theodore something. But Bronson DeBro sounds
That
pretty
was
good.
perfect.
Bad dude. Theodore, bad dude.
Bad dude.
Yeah,
Bad dude.
I'm going to go to Miami. I'm going to stick with it. I don't care.
that's great.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Theodore Bronson DeBrow,
DeBrow.
who's actually his twin brother. He just pronounces his last name a little bit differently for the Phils. I don't know who's pitching for the Phils yet.
I do.
You do? Who?
Christopher Sanchez.
Oh, Christopher Sanchez.
I don't know why they haven't announced it. I'm not sure.
And that could have changed over the last couple hours. But Dallas Keuchel. I want to see what Keuchel looks like in another outing against a really good offense in Philadelphia. They've been playing good ball. So he didn't strike anyone out last time around. He looked not exactly, but very close to what he's looked like in the past. He wasn't throwing harder, but he was crafty. So does the crafty lefty continue to show that he belongs in the big still? And it's a cool story to root for. Dallas, nice guy. I want to see what he looks like. So I'll go there. I'll go to Minnesota.
He was crafty when he won the Cy Young too.
Exactly.
So,
I like to watch something different like that, which I respected always, you know?
And he's been grinding to get back, and I love it. I'd love to see that game, but you smell too good and look too good, so I got to go to my own place.
Okay.
I'm going to go watch Turdlander and Detmers. Verlander and Detmers, not because the Angels are going to climb back in this thing.
Should have traded him.
But just because
God almighty.
You're so mad about that. You even showed up as the GM the one day on our trade show. But I want to see what Verlander does. I feel like as much as both of them would probably deny it, he's looking and seeing what Max has done. He's looking and see Max is looking to see what JV does. And they're like, I'm better. I'm more gooder. I want to have more votes. I want to have a higher percentage when we get into the Hall of Fame in 5 years. Like those guys are constantly pushing each other. So anytime Max does well, JV's like, I got to do better too.
I think even they can kind of erase some of what the first, half of the season looked like for themselves and say, hey, who's going to have better numbers? Max or JV with their new team and prove that the return was worth it. That whole thing. So, yeah, I'm with you. That's cool. And I'll do one honorable mention because it's Rays Guardians. Aaron Savali already gets to try and burn his former ball club. I am definitely placing bets on that game tonight.
Already did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't make it my lock. I should have. But we'll get to that actually coming up in just a sec.
Go.
So if you've got the Game Time app, great. You're smart. If you don't, download it. Download it for free. And then this is how you run through it, okay? If you're looking for last-minute tickets, it is the ideal destination. It's not stressful at all. Everything that they considered was for you to make your last-minute ticket experience much, much easier. There's flash deals. You flick that across the screen. You do a little scroll on the zone deal, and they'll give you what the best deals are. At the moment, great images of your seat views. Lowest price guarantee is there for you, which means the Game Time guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Also, there's event cancellation protection, job loss protection, the whole deal. It is the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. So just for us, the FT listeners, if you download the app, create an account, and use the code FTLive, you get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, you create an account, redeem the code FTLive, all caps, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. We'll continue to preview tonight's games with our locks. Who texted you? So I know we started this combo and we'll kind of end it the same way with the phone being hot as hell. And thank you to all of your friends and fam for at least leaving you alone for the last 14 minutes. But who texted you? Because you played with Trout, Ohtani, some of those people too. Did you get any cool reach outs from former teammates or just anybody else that's worth pointing out where you're like, oh, hey?
Yeah, those two. Ipe texted me and texted me something pretty funny. Trout texted me a video of them watching it in the clubhouse. I got a bunch of different messages, Gosman, guys who I put Bronson Arroyo, Votto, Jay Bruce, a bunch of guys that I played with in the past. And, and I'm going to feel bad if I forgot anyone, but it was really cool, man. Guys I played with a long time ago, guys I played with last year, guys from the Tigers, reached out. So, just feeling the love and the support. It's been a good couple days. Already giving him the apology. I'm like, man, That was incredible yesterday. I'm sorry. He was like, dude, don't be sorry. I got to be a part of that in my first big league start. So I was like, I know. I was like, well, at least your family got to come down on the field and celebrate with you. Like, there was videos of him and his I don't know if it's his girlfriend or if it's his wife, but man, yesterday was just an all around insane game with him hitting his first home run, his first at bat. He's been in the minor leagues for a really long time, so he's grinded. And then Nick Castellanos hitting 199 and 200 career homers, and just everything about it was pretty cool with the way it played out.
And now back to foul territory.
Back at it at Borgata, Scott Braun, Todd Frazier, and Erik Kratz. And a reminder to everyone, don't miss the area's best comics take the stage. Not just Todd Father, which is right now, at the Borgata Comedy Club. See the full comedy club listing at theborgata.com. He's got it today.
He's kind of on like a different wavelength. He's on his little league wavelength.
Yeah,
but I was
feel
laughing.
like if we bring him on the stage, like a short stand-up, he would thrive.
Sure.
Like I was smiling though because he calls himself Scotty Braun. Like, what if I introduced myself as Erik Kratzy?
Yeah, or Toddy Frazier.
You would call yourself the Todd
My
Father.
grandpa called
Todd
me
Father.
Toddy.
He would call himself the Todd Father.
Yeah.
The Todd Father. Welcome.
His text come across as the Todd Father in my phone.
Thank you.
All right, I want to make sure we get to this first. So let's close the second poll. So if you were in the big leagues as an average Joe or average Jane, how many hits would you get with 650 plate appearances? The leader of the pack is 5 to 10. Absolutely not. Like, if you're not a baseball player, I'm talking like someone, let's say, like I didn't play it in high school. I played basketball. I played Little League. I'm not getting 5 to 10 knocks for the whole season, am I? Now, I would, there's a lot of chatter going on. I'm like, I'd work my ass off. I'd make sure I get one. I'm not going hitless in 650, but I don't know if I'm getting 5 to 10. And this is not including the walks, the hit by pitches. I'll take some of that. Hits. How many hits?
Oh, you want me to answer this?
Yeah.
I'm like in between, but I'm gonna say 0 to 5.
No, that's not an answer. 0 or 1 to 5.
Oh, 0. Oh, 1 to 5.
I picked 1 to 5. I think I can get 1 over 650 plate appearances.
1 to 5 for me.
Maybe a position player comes in and I get a knock on him throwing 48. No,
that's tough. I'm giving you 5 to 10.
Really?
650. You're out there every day.
Working on your craft.
You're grinding.
Yeah.
You are going to figure it out, especially with them biceps.
So you're saying
you're getting a couple breaking balls.
I was saying the average Joe.
Well, we talked about it that it's supposed to be him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if we're
I'm not a baseball player, though.
I think you're getting 5 to 10.
Okay.
No.
Because I was an average Joe, and I got more than 5 to 10.
No, stop
Barely.
it. Stop it. All right, let me show you what we got here for tonight's free game of the day, streaming on the BetMGM app, live streaming available to all BetMGM customers who are logged in and have funded accounts. It's the Brewers and the White Sox. And now for our BetMGM locks, we'll quickly run through what we had yesterday. Man, I'm cold this week. I'm having a tough week. Pierzynski nailed it with his strikeouts. Liberatore was great yesterday. Shout out.
He could have
to
gone
him.
way higher.
Hell yeah.
I was afraid of Littell not going that long, but he easily hit it. That was a good one.
Let's run it. You're up first. Your BetMGM lock for Friday. As you can see, we're all up big. Follow this. We're real. We keep receipts.
Your problem is you're starting to do what he does. You got to stick with what you do best.
I know. I do.
That's all. I'm not saying to do it, but you were hot when you would just pick the one
pick games. Yeah, you're right.
You were hot
I'm back
on
at
the
that
games.
tonight.
I'm going Brewers, White Sox.
Okay.
Kopech's giving me 5, and Burnsy's giving me 6.
Excuse me.
Punchies. Love it.
And that's his bread and butter.
That's
what
my
about
guy.
you?
I'm sticking with the red legs, man. I'm going red legs money line. -110, 440 to win 400. Let's get on that wave and let's ride it home.
I like it. I'm a money line or run line guy. You're right. I got to get back to my core. Red Sox run line tonight is +135. Sale's
that.
back. They're coming off winning 3 of 4. They're still playing for something. And I feel like the Tigers might be getting a little too much credit because it's Skubal, who's pitched well in limited outings right now. Their relief pitching obviously is not good. So I think the Red Sox pick up a dub, and it's a dub comfortably. So
They score runs.
they score runs. Offense is clicking right now. There's your locks, and want to remind everyone that you can get a bonus bet if you log in to the BetMGM Sportsbook app every Friday for the next 3 weeks. The claim period extends through Saturday and Sunday, so log in at any point this weekend. You can get your bonus bet on the house. All eligible players will be awarded a bonus bet of a predetermined value, and bonus bets will only not be awarded in Kansas, Nevada, New York, and Puerto Rico. But we're in Jersey, so get after it. And lastly, can I get a quick Yerfy Nerfy?
Yeah. I'm going with the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game. Cincinnati they're both, if you add their numbers up, they haven't even averaged a run. It's like 0.7 runs in the first inning for the season. So I love that Nerfy.
Plus a hundo, or at least when I locked it in?
Have no idea. I'd locked it in plus 100, easy peasy.
Because Abbott's got it.
I love that. And Oviedo's, he's nice.
Good too. Yeah,
He's nice.
That was the easy pick for me. Todd, Father, you got to.
I'm going with
Yerfy
the
Nerfy?
Giants game tonight. I'm going Giants Rangers.
Okay.
Who's on the mound there? We got John Gray for Scott Alexander. Just feeling him. No runs.
Especially with the opener.
Yeah.
They're putting that opener out there for a reason.
Yeah.
I like picking on those Nerfies when they have the opener out there. It's don't pick the Braves.
Don't fake the funk on the nasty dunk, baby.
That's some serious cash too. Some Yerfies with the Braves. That's extra.
They're the
They are
best.
ridiculous.
No, I don't touch that, especially right now, because the Braves, and we'll probably get into this on Monday, if they keep looking mediocre, they've been playing 500-ish for almost a month now. Okay, it's fine. Maybe a little jaded, cruise control. There's no division race for them. I don't want to say nothing to play for, but they've been a little lackadaisical in terms of their results. You're not going to thrive like you did for the first 3 months of the season all year. But that's why I'm careful. Hey, next hour is on Foul Territory's YouTube. We're right here in AC.
Gotta let go so I can be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me, and I can't hold it much longer. Gotta let go so I can be free. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you just say the words, you know I'll take you anywhere. This life is way too short to spend.
You can.
No,
No?
of course.
Are you saying
Silence.
that just because Kratz said that?
Of course I do.
Yeah,
Yes, you
you should.
do. Sell your brand,
What's your nickname?
just like me.
Hams?
Nothing. I got
Kratz
nothing.
ads.
But Duga Dunk.
What's your name? Scooter.
Scooter or Scotty?
Scout Brown.
Anyway, you can earn up to 20 times slot dollar multipliers every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday through August. To visit theborgata.com for details. For all the FT fam with us, we'll take some of your questions a little bit later on. And in this hour, we're talking to Rowdy Tellez and Jose Trevino. Rowdy's back. He'll be with us any minute. And Trevino out for the season with the Yanks, but give him credit, still joining us every couple weeks. So we'll have some fun with him. And one thing I would like to do before we get to Rowdy is shout out Jose Bautista. I hadn't heard from him in a while. And they're going to do a little one-day contract and have him, I guess, officially retire and go up on the whatever they have there, the Wall of Excellence or something like that.
They're excited.
Yeah,
It's the big of excellence. I was on Toronto radio last night, and it is.
They love him.
All Bautista all the time. When I played with him in Toronto, it was like every fly ball that Jose Bautista hit, homer. Fans were just like, oh. I mean, it was he ruled that that country. As much as Stroman took over and did the whole the six and get the city. Bautista,
those two aren't in the same stratosphere. Are you kidding me?
Bautista ran it.
Yes,
absolutely ran it up there.
So props to Joey Bats, and let's bring in our latest slugger. He's almost back. There he is. Rowdy Tellez of the Milwaukee Brewers, or technically, would you like to introduce him with his current ball club?
The Nashville Sound. I don't even know what the name of the Nashville team is. What is
I think it's Sound. Do you know, Rowdy?
The Nashville Sounds.
Do you know the origin?
I'm just going to go with music probably because it's in Nashville.
Wow.
But I could be way off.
And you're still in Indy right now?
Yeah.
That is a glorious place to play.
It's actually a cool backdrop to hit against.
Now it is. Cool. After those trees grew in. Those trees used to be thin, like the top of your head.
Oh.
It was a long-term project.
That's a clean shave today, buddy, so it's not thin.
Yeah, he's on you today. What's that about?
Thin.
It's a shave for the live stream. So how you doing, man? Thank you for giving us permission to ruin everyone's Friday by showing what you went through. Because also, I think it's important, Rowdy, when it's like, oh, it's a finger injury. Like, come on. And then you look at it and we blurt it out for our audience because YouTube would put some weird thing on it. But I think we're going to put it on Twitter. Dude, I saw that pic and I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Did that hurt?
Yeah, it was bad. I did it in the house that Todd Frazier built over there in Cincinnati.
Hey, that's on me, kid. I should have figured that out, the wall. That's on me.
Yeah, you built the stadium, and this is my fault. I tried to be an athlete. I went into the grass where I don't belong, and I was standing up against the fence, and I went to kind of jump to catch the ball, and I put my hand up against the fence, and I put it into in between the pads, and it came out, and it looked like Niagara Falls coming out of my finger. It was gross.
Now, when you put it in between the pads, there wasn't any metal in there or anything. It's just the pad was too tight, and it caught.
No, there was metal in there for sure. There had to be I honestly, that's the only thing that could have happened because I didn't jump, I didn't do anything.
We know you didn't jump high.
Yeah, I didn't do anything athletic, so it was I just found the crack in between the pads, and it got me good.
So did you see AJ? Did you see AJ when he came in town?
I did, and then we, of course, me and him go at it all the time on the show, and then he shows up and he's walking around the clubhouse, and we have the same shoes on, so that just didn't help my cause.
Yeah. That's
awesome. So then it didn't help my cause, and I was trying to be a good guy because I don't know why. Again, trying to be out of character, and yeah, I saw him. So then he was just talking. Well, he just had to say what he wanted to say, and
you just had to wear it.
Yeah,
you just had to wear it.
When you start spitting out facts, it's tough to really come back on those. Sometimes you just have to deal with it.
Let me guess. AJ goes, dude, what are you doing shagging fly balls?
Yeah, and then he goes, yeah, the fat guys like us. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I know. I get it.
Hey, let me ask you this. The nail, did they have to take the nail off the finger? Is it fully off the hand now, the finger?
Oh, yeah, it's all.
Let's see. We can't. Oh, yep.
Yeah, Ooh. They took it all the way off. They scalpeled it out of my finger.
And they said, will they say that grow back or no?
Well, I hope so.
No, I mean.
It's a nail.
No,
but sometimes when you get in there.
When you get it ripped like that, the part, my daughter had it done. She got her finger caught in the door in the perfect place and it ripped it up. They said, the guy's like, it should grow back. I'm like, should? I'm like, holy cow, no. And it eventually did grow back. The nail bed is something not to mess with. They were talking about.
So I completely ripped my nail bed out with my fingernail. So they scalpeled out my fingernail and then sutured my nail bed back into my finger. So I had 10 internal stitches, like through the nail bed back into my finger, and then 8 going around the top of my finger to basically put the top of the nail bed back into my finger too. Yeah.
So
it was
basically, like you don't want, like you see all those like movies, spy movies, like somebody goes into imprisonment, goes into, and they're like, they start bringing the thing out where they start like, oh, they're gonna rip your nails out. Like I've always felt like, I'll tell you whatever. If you're gonna start ripping a nail out, you don't even need to rip one out. Whatever it is, I'm gonna just spill the beans. Are you in agreement with me now?
I am now. I thought I was gonna be like, Johnny Badass, but no. I'm going to be Willie Wussy and just be like, hey, man, that guy is over there in the corner. He's got a gun. He's right there.
Here's the passcode.
Dude, whatever you need, just come back to me later. I'll tell you more. No, it was bad because, like, I was running in from the outfield, and if you ever held those little hand things where you, like, flick it back and forth and it, like, makes a high five, makes a clapping sound?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like when I was running in from the outfield to our dugout. Was like my finger and fingernail were like clapping back and forth. Like it was like
how much
then
blood
I got
was on
inside. I got inside and I was like, I had it under my shirt, so I hadn't even like. I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's not good. So I thought like maybe I just kind of like cut the top. But then I was running in and I was like, ooh, that's way more than just a cut of like the top of the finger. So then I sat down on the training table and pulled it out of my shirt, and it was bad. It was like someone like put a firecracker in my finger, so like everything was kind of popping out. And then I had shock for about 30 minutes, and then after that, it really hit. And I was like, okay. We were talking about doing something at the field. Then the doctor wasn't going to be there for another like 2 hours. And I was like, there's no shot. Like I can't sit here without pain medicine for a long time. So then they took me to the hospital, immediately gave me morphine, and I was happy. I felt so much better.
So much better. What trainer, when you're bleeding like that and you know you're bleeding, you're kind of hiding it in your shirt, what trainer did you go to in there? Or was it just first come, first serve?
Well, the only one that was out there at the time was Scott Behringer. He's our head trainer. And he was like, I thought maybe you like jammed it in the wall and like maybe like fractured it or something like that, which I did fracture it, just not dislocation or anything like that. And then I took it out of my shirt and he was like, oh, we got to go. Yeah, he was like, it was gross.
So Scott was the guy. Do you think Yeager? I don't think Yeager could have handled that.
I think he could have because he was kind of looking at it.
Oh, he wanted to see it?
Yeah, he did. A couple of players wanted to come in and see what it looked like, and I was like, "You guys, it's going to be gross. It's going to be disgusting." And it was, and some of the players couldn't handle it, but I was actually awake for when they put it all together. I was watching TV and listening to music when the surgeon was putting my finger back together. We listened to Johnny Cash radio.
Wow.
Who was the most grossed out?
Who couldn't handle it?
Quinn Berry.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
Yeah, the drama queen on our team. He's tough. Dak's tough, but good guy, good first base coach.
Hey, my question to you, I'm going to change gears here now. I'm looking at this bobblehead coming out. It looks pretty good, I'll be honest with you. It's got similarities, but you got 2 dogs there. You got 2 dogs? Talk to me about the dogs, man. They look cute.
Yeah, I got 2 dogs.
Easy.
Both the dogs bobble, like their heads bobble, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Not positive, but it's definitely they look just like them, which they did a pretty good job.
What's their names?
The little brown one's Hogan. I adopted him during COVID season. When you got lonely being by yourself.
After Hulk. Okay.
Yeah. Well, because I lived in Tampa, so yeah, that was actually it.
No doubt.
And then the other one's Axel. He's half lab, but half Aussie. So he's pretty cool. Got crazy blue eyes. He's a really cool dog. Really sweet. Hogan's more like, he's like 4 years old now, 3 years old. He's like the 72-year-old grandpa that you're not allowed to walk on his lawn. Yells at you, bro. He's got the worst attitude I've ever seen. He's like angry all the time. Salty,
just angry.
Big salty guy. Yeah, so I adopted him from the Humane Society. So he went from no house to penthouse, and he's just thinks he's got it figured out. He's got the world figured out, but he's super salty. He doesn't get his way. He like complains. He'll roll over. He'll lay on his stomach. He's just kind of like me.
Do you talk to him? Like, will you say, dude, you have it all now, and this is how you're treating us?
Oh yeah, I tell him every time, I'm like, dude, we can go back to the streets. It's cool. he's either like the 72-year-old man that like can't walk on his lawn, or he's like, I mean, you guys got kids, you know, and they go, oh, I hate you guys. I wish you weren't my family. And then, you know, like your dad packs your bag and says, go for it, man. Go find a new one. He's like that too. Like complains. I'm like, dude, we can just go back to the streets. No, put him outside. Yeah, put him outside.
You ever open the door? Yeah, you ever open the door and you just let him out there?
Yeah, go for it, dude. He'll take one step outside and be like, oh, it's dirty. Can't.
That's your fault. That's not all dogs are the same. Their owner is 100%. The one who. So, are you the one that's babying that thing?
Yes, it is me.
Yeah,
I will take full responsibility.
Good.
That is
good.
That is my fault. We used to go on when we would go hunting, and we would drive from Tampa to Texas or Tampa to Louisiana or anything. He would get real mad at me because if I didn't turn the seat warmer on after I put gas in the truck, or if we stopped for anything, he would walk around the front of my truck all over me while I'm driving and be like, oh, dude, sorry, I forgot. My bad. Turn the seat warmer on, 2 little spins, sit down, and wouldn't move. He's a trooper.
I will say, you're right. They nailed the art. It looks really good. Like, there it is.
Yep.
Sometimes, you know, the faces are caricatures or whatever. Like, you look good there, Rowdy, and so do the pups. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good look. I mean, they did a good job because Hogan's half basset and half lab, so his short little legs fit right in. I mean, they did a really good job on him.
I love your
Frazier's
shoes.
allergic to it, but besides that, we're good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, you got a little jersey.
I won't get you one.
You got a little Jersey in you because your accent's pretty good.
No, I just played with a lot of guys that I like to mock. I'm kind of a smartass, so shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was fun. Tom's River, dude. I know we played against each other. I don't know if you remember me. I was the fat one at first.
Oh, really? I didn't remember that. Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys have a little combo at first?
I'm sure we used to talk in spring training.
Todd was never in AAA.
Yeah. Kratz, I'm trying to be a better guy this year. Today.
No, you're not.
Today.
Since
Rowdy,
I can tell since his
ass.
finger.
Hey,
I can tell since his finger got hurt. He's trying to I want to kind of lay low and I don't want to buy too much spread for the guys here while we're in Indy. I don't want to take everybody out to Morton's. I want to hear this new Rowdy. What's this new Rowdy stuff? What?
No, there's no new Rowdy. Just AJ's not here, so it's not like I can just cap on somebody the whole time. But no, we don't do Morton's here. We do Ruth Chris. That's what I got him.
Ooh. Now we're talking.
Yeah, we're talking. We're playing a little ball. But I got him Ruth Chris. I got him some barbecue place. Got him Chick-fil-A, Chipotle. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the last day yet.
So we're gonna fact check this. All right. So this can't be like a Rowdy story. We're gonna fact check that you got all these things, but I want you to think for your next rehab assignment. Not this year. You're gonna stay healthy the rest of this year and hit 11 homers for the rest of the season. But that's just me calling it right now. Think about this: the Brewers pay for all the food right now in the minor leagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
So technically, you're helping out Mark Antanasio. Next time there's a rehab or any of your boys go in rehab, stop buying the boys food because the Brewers buy them food. Get the boys something nice. Maybe mix in some AirPods, maybe some J's, or maybe some Miguel Jordans.
Yeah, they actually dropped me, so that stinks.
Miguel Jordan.
Yeah, they did. But you make a good point because when I got here, I was fully anticipating buying a lot more food than what I was. And I started looking at their menu that they had already prepped out, and I was like, these guys eat really good.
Yeah.
They had P.F. Chang's. They had some other restaurants, not catering, restaurants bringing food. And I was like, dude, they eat really good.
Yep.
So then, I mean, you make a good point though. Now that I think about it, like, could just buy them all AirPods. You know, those. That's like probably the best gift out right now for like if you're a minor leaguer and you have to travel a lot, especially into like the Midwest League, the Sally League, those leagues where you got to take 10, 12-hour bus rides. Those come in handy.
Or maybe like a nice neck pillow or something.
Yeah, I mean, I still have time. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, be creative. Now, this is something I want to show everybody because you have to be in the minor leagues to appreciate something like this. Don't move your camera too much, but just tilt it away a little bit so we see the top of the dugout. This is only a minor league thing. And over a little bit. Other side. Other side. Right there. See that? That's rain drippage. Okay, you don't get that in a show. That's nasty. Just you're in a rain delay or you're in like you're in a standard like rain downpour, but they're still playing because they're like, we got to get this in. There's 300 people in the stands, and that is dripping on you. In the show, you don't get that. So you're grinding right now. I appreciate you grinding.
Yeah, it's tough. I had a fan ask me yesterday, what's it like to be a minor leaguer? And I said, well, it's not that bad. It could be worse. And then he asked me, do I think I'm special because I can wear a one-flap helmet? And I said, it makes me feel a little bit better. And then he goes, do you feel bad about yourself? And I said, why? And he goes, because you don't have hair.
This was a real combo with like a rando fan, or is he like he's seen you do interviews and stuff, so he knew to bring it?
I don't know. He was like a random fan. It was definitely Thirsty Thursday yesterday with a doubleheader, so he was really feeling himself. Yeah,
Did
all
you dish
19
anything
people
back?
over here. No, I let him have his time to shine. But dude, there was some comments being thrown out definitely later in the game after more beers were consumed. It had me laughing really hard, and a lot of them crossed lines, but they weren't towards me, so wasn't
Like
too
what?
upset about it.
Like what? What was the best one that you can tell us?
One of my teammates was hitting, and he had swung and missed 3 times in a row, and some fan behind the on deck circle for the Indian side said, someone get him the chair from the Montgomery brawl. Maybe he'll make contact. And I was a little far, but I thought it was funny. I didn't know if you guys have seen that video.
Haven't.
Yeah, there was like a big brawl in Montgomery. It was pretty racial. And
I did see that.
Somebody grabbed the chair and started wailing on people and was connecting every time. So that was where that joke came from. So
Indy.
Oh, was that when they were on a boat or something?
Yeah,
Right
on
off
the on a dock.
Yeah. That was a monster fight.
Yeah,
They're not holding back.
Somebody asked me, so I'm wearing number 31. Somebody asked me how I picked my number, and I just kind of didn't say anything. And they were like, "Is that by how many donuts you've eaten?" And I was like,
"Ooh,
good one."
Wow,
not bad. I have heard something very similar to that already. So
Indy's usually nice. Indy's usually like it's not like Rochester. Like Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, those people, whew, they get angry.
Yeah, if you're from the Northeast, you're just shitty. No offense, but they do.
It's all right. We're just doing a show in
Palms River, New
right
Jersey is not that bad. It's a great place.
Woo! There you go.
Developed some serious athletes, so I'm super fond of that place. Never been.
Here's my thing, though.
I'm doing that
and then
right now.
I do want to ask you about some Brewers trades.
Texting.
Why is anyone heckling at a minor league game? Like, what are you worried about? Rowdy's rehab assignment? Like, what's the problem?
I lined out, so I'm hitting leadoff. I've never hit leadoff in my life. So, of course, I'm getting a heater first pitch is what I thought. No, breaking ball. It was great. And so I took it, and I was like kind of caught off guard. And somebody in the back goes, "You've never seen one of those? They don't have those there?" And I was like, "Okay." Then the next pitch throws the heater, and I hit it like 115 to second base, like line out. And I'm like, "Don't even leave the box." And some fat dude behind goes, "Oh, you can't exercise. You can't run, hot tubby." And I was like, "Hey, man, they got mirrors here in Indianapolis, or what do we got?"
Oh, that's funny.
Wow, there's serious heat out there.
They were on me.
I segment on that.
Yeah, like popped out with a runner on first, and like was kind of jogging down the line, and guy was like, "Good hard 90," and I'm like, "It's a foul ball."
Exactly.
Jeez, they're
And
harsh
you
out there.
can't comment back on all of them because then it's like, oh, that's that guy. But every once in a while, you gotta give him the business.
Well,
no
you got
doubt.
your line.
Yeah,
I've said
well,
it
because
before.
if I say something back with 36 fans in the stands, everybody's going to hear me, and then
True.
Yep.
when you do it
Yeah.
when there's like 36,000, then only the
You
6 that
seen
are
the
around
one
here.
where Machado bet his whole contract on them winning the World Series before the Dodgers or whatever it was?
Yeah.
What was
Oh,
that?
the guy came back. The guy wants his. He wants.
Yeah,
his
he wants. So he was on NXR. They were talking crap. He goes, well, about the Dodgers and him, or I forget.
In 19, he
Go
was
ahead,
right
what I'm
next to the net, and he goes, "Hey, the Dodgers are going to win a World Series before the Padres will." And Machado turns. He goes, "Please." He goes, "I'll bet my whole contract that the Padres will win way before the Dodgers do." And the dude
Dodgers
came
won.
back this year, and he goes, "Hey, Manny, you owe me $300 million, or should we put the extension on that too?"
Oh, wow.
It was good.
Sometimes
It was
you gotta
good.
Yeah,
be
it was.
careful.
I mean, I hope he follows up on his bet. I really do.
I'm gonna say the under. I'm gonna say he's not
Yeah.
going
Take the
to,
under.
but I think he should do something cool for sure.
I agree. I think it'd be cool if he does something, like
Maybe AirPods. They're expensive.
Maybe
Expensive.
buy him a horse or something.
steak dinner.
Yeah.
That'd
in
be
San
cool.
Diego.
No,
No.
not doing that.
No.
All right. Hey, Rowdy, we haven't had you on in a minute, so I did want to ask you about the Brewers making some moves at the trade deadline. So specifically, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had Corbin on, and he said he actually got confirmation from Matt Arnold in the front office that he wasn't getting traded. And we were like, oh, how? And he's like, kind of randomly, I don't know if you heard this, randomly ran into him or something. They were joking about like, oh, should we like acquire Arenado or Goldschmidt? And he was like, yeah, I would love that. And then he's like, but seriously, we're not trading you. Did you hear about all that? And I mean, I don't think that's very common, but I thought it was kind of cool.
No, I didn't. I mean, I knew he wasn't getting traded. He told me that, but I didn't hear how it came about. So I know I don't know. I know they talk. I didn't think he would get traded, especially with us in a playoff race. I was hoping he wouldn't get traded.
Yeah.
Going really well. So, but no, I mean, I liked our trades. Really good clubhouse guys. Really just, Santana's a very good veteran presence for us. Puts together really good at bats. So does Mark. Mark is definitely a fashion guy. I'll tell you that.
And a
He
foodie.
wears, Major League Foodie, Big League Foodie. Sorry.
Yep, that's his account.
Yeah, he definitely is a big fashion guy. So, and we call him Prada Mark. He wears Prada shades in the field to play.
Okay.
Is that an
That's
endorsement
smart.
deal, or he just purchases
I don't
on
know.
his own?
I think he does it on his own. He's got like a couple pairs of them that he'll wear out there.
And then you got Chafin too to get Bryce Harper when you're facing the Phils in the playoffs.
Hey, that guy. He lives in a trailer during the
No, he
season.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Is this a Rowdy story or is this true story?
No. This is like a real thing. I found this out and I thought it was pretty cool. Like, he lives in a trailer, like a show trailer. Like, it's really nice.
Like a double wide.
No. Like, he tows it with a truck.
Oh.
So he has that
like a
right
camper.
now in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's his home.
It was getting sent there when I was coming to Indianapolis. So when I get back, definitely will be there, and I want to see it.
Wow.
We need pics and videos of this.
Well,
Yeah,
we're gonna have
because-
to bring him on. Why though? I mean, I'm all about it. Those things are awesome.
I don't-
But like, he doesn't want a home too, like an apartment or something.
So I've talked to him a little bit. He's a big outdoor guy. He has like a farm, runs heavier equipment. That's like what he loves to do. We were talking about hunting, and he was like, yeah, kind of, but I like to run the heavy equipment. So like, I'd much rather do all the hard work and then hunt. But Wade Miley played with him and said that's where he told me that he lives in a trailer, drives like a big dually truck. He said he's just basically like a hillbilly. He's got the hair. He's got the mustache. He's got the best. I mess with him and say he's got a perm because his hair is really curly. So I was like, he's got the best perm out there for any hillbilly I've ever seen. But he's a really good dude. I mean, I like him.
I Googled it to see if it was breaking news, but it's been covered.
Okay.
There's articles about it, but I like it.
I do
I
like
only make up really good stories about Murph and AJ.
All right. Well, AJ's back with you next time, dude. When are you
Good.
coming back? Like, when are you back in the bigs? What's the
Um,
timetable?
I don't know yet. I'll have to ask the fans tonight what they think if I'm allowed to go back. They tell me what I can and can't do, but I don't know yet. You know, I haven't played in 7 weeks, so just trying to get the bearings back. Feel good. Finger feels really good, so that's good. But I'm just happy to be back. Happy to be playing. So it's good to just be out on the field and sweat a little bit playing instead of just walking up the stairs.
Yeah, it's good to see you, dude. We missed having you on, and I mean, clearly, I'm concerned for you at this point because I think you're making such a presence there that you might have minor league fans being like, "No, don't take him away from us. He's our favorite. He acknowledges us. He looked at me."
Yeah. I am staying at the hotel across from the field, and a guy stopped me and took a picture with me. I don't know, like the hotel that the team's staying in right now is connected to the one that I'm staying in, and a guy stopped me and he said, "I loved you when you played on the Blue Jays." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." He goes, "Yeah, I remember when you were here." He goes, "My kid's a big fan." I was like, "Oh, nice." Had a little conversation. I was waiting for my Starbucks, and then he goes, "Do you mind coming back to the room and signing something for me?" And I said, "Absolutely not. I will not do that."
Coming back to the room, what is
Yes,
going
I love
on?
that.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I ask players, Rowdy, like, "Hey, have you had any weird fan interactions lately?" And they're like, "No." And you've got like 30.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's the gut. I really do. I think they
Smile.
makes them feel normal that I'm kind of like them. But
You're approachable.
yeah, very approachable. But
Come back to the room, like, have a feel.
No.
yeah, hey,
At the
yeah. Can
very
you come
least,
back to
like,
the
hey,
room and sign something? I was like, no, dude, absolutely not. Matter of
first of
fact, I'm
all,
gonna grab my coffee and I'm just not gonna look at you the rest of the time. And I'm gonna
like,
walk away.
first of all, that's weird and creepy to a random person. Hey, come to my room. Second of all, it's kind of like, hey, you're talking to a big leaguer who clearly, has a game going on. Oh, hey, like, can you just start screwing up your schedule and come to my room? Like, how about at the very least, like, oh my gosh, I'm excited to see you. I want something signed. Can you wait here for 2 minutes? I'm going to sprint up and get something. Like, that's
Even
what a
yeah,
normal human would do that really needs
he
an
would have
autograph.
said that. I would have gladly said yeah and then walked away and just left him kind of hanging. But that would have been way better.
Well, good, dude. I'm glad you didn't get abducted.
Yes.
Stranger danger. You say no to strangers. You nailed it, dude. You still got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if he had candy, maybe. I don't know. Show up in there. Or a
And
puppy.
puppies.
Big dog got him. Big dog.
True.
Big
true.
dog guy.
Hey, dude. Great catching up. We'll talk to you in a few weeks. All right. Keep doing your thing, and also like be safe out there for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some real weird guys out there. So I will definitely have a whistle with me.
We're basically always on streaming, so if there's a problem, you know the number, just hit us and we'll bring you right back on the show. So you could be like, "Oh, sorry, I got to do a show." Hey,
Yeah.
like when you're like, "Oh, I'm walking in a weird
You know
area, I got to
what's
call someone."
crazy? It's as I don't know about you guys, but it's always the creepy old dudes or like just dudes in general that come after me. And just one time, I want a girl just be like, "Hey, come back to my room and sign something." Be like, you know what? Maybe, but it never works that way.
I'm flattered, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. You've got a type that really wants to
Yeah.
talk to you and get
Yep.
your autograph in a weird
You
way,
know
dude.
what?
That's your
It's
people.
weird.
One day,
Yeah.
one day. I mean, I will say this because I mean, I know obviously Rowdy is technically kind of the nickname too, but you need something like Big Sexy or something like that. Wasn't
That was
Bartolo?
Bartolo. I'm not going to
Yeah,
take his.
I know that. I'm saying something like that could help your cause.
This is the second person that Scott's trying to come up with a nickname for this week. So
Yes.
don't feel like he's going to give it to you. He doesn't have any. He just
Yeah.
wants you to have a nickname.
Exactly. Well, Rowdy, we'll work on it, dude. Go do your thing. We'll grab you again soon. All right.
All right, Ryan Braun. I'll see you.
Nice. Later, dude.
He was on one. Day. I
Nice.
love
Hey,
it.
that was very, very timely too. Brewers related. There we go. Right into it. Kratzy's got the Shady Rays on. We're about to bring on Jose Trevino. Thank you for bringing them too. We are inside, but this is how Erik Kratz leaves the ballpark. This is how he leaves his home. This is how he leaves Borgata when he wins
Play
big.
cards.
Yeah.
is how I
Over.
take.
Oh,
Borgata's
actually,
giving free money away at the card table.
that's not true.
All in.
Yeah, you got to go. I mean, I'm going all in, and you're like, nope.
And they're
you just
polarized.
folded.
They're polarized. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you can see what card is coming next. That's what polarized.
Exactly. I can
Todd
see
didn't know what he didn't know what
Oh,
polarized
shit.
meant.
Here we go.
But want to shout out Shady Rays. If you lose or break a pair, even on day one, which we've all been there, they'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Love the plan that they do there. Also, doing a lot of things out in the community. The Shady Rays impact from building play sets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime. They're making an impact. So we appreciate everything. We like to have fun with them, but Shady Rays is the spot. You can look maybe as good as Erik Kratz if you go to shadyrays.com. And right now we have a very exclusive little deal that's being offered for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses exclusively for Foul Territory listeners and watchers. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Use the code FOUL. I hope Trevino is watching right now too.
I hope so
So
too.
he can
but
see what
like,
his future looks like. He's
it's an
here?
abs-
Good, perfect. Jose, how you doing, dude? Jose Trevino from the Yankees gets to see what his future looks like one day when you retire. Wow. What is this?
It's COVID season again. He has to wear a mask.
I thought Todd would like that one.
Yeah, I've been waiting for mine. I mean, that would be the perfect gift to send me. I still haven't gotten one yet.
A mask?
I've been asking this guy for gear for the last 2 years, and he still hasn't sent me
Why do
anything.
you want a mask?
Because
I
it
gave,
looks
you-
cool.
I gave
It
your
is
son
cool.
something. I gave your son something. You don't need
What'd you give
anything.
What'd you give him?
Batting gloves.
Oh my
Batting
goodness!
gloves,
You
what do you
get like
mean?
70 pair of batting
Hey,
gloves
listen.
a year.
This is what I did with those when I was in the bathroom the other day.
Yeah, batting gloves.
We are on one today.
I've been waiting
Cozy.
for one of his masks for 2 years now, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, well, I want to keep this one, but I can give you this one, but we'll talk later." Come on, man.
That's a weird voice
I'll
that
get
you
you.
made.
I'll get you one. Well, yeah, I want to keep this one, but I can give you the next
No,
one.
no, I want that one, and I'm not taking no for an answer.
This one.
I mean, listen,
that one is
you're
one
not
is
even
hot.
from that. That's my neck of the woods.
That's sick.
Don't even sign it either. I don't want you
Oh.
to sign any. That's too good to be
Ooh.
signed.
That's nice.
That
is
real
nice.
It's New York skyline and Corpus Christi skyline
Oh, we.
merging together in the front.
That's
So I
super
don't know.
cool.
You can't have that one, Todd.
I didn't know that wasn't the Statue of Liberty in the front. But anyway.
Yeah, but we'll get a new one for you. Tom's River Skyline.
Yeah.
There's no skyline. It's just the river. That's it. So you
It's
need,
Todd's,
Yeah, we'll
it's
get the
Todd's
river
house.
flowing.
it's Todd's house. Todd's house would be part of that skyline too.
Hey, but you need to have an exchange, right? Everything in Jersey, there's a negotiation. So if you're giving that out, what is he getting?
I gave him all my wisdom in Texas. He doesn't. That's the exchange. I gave him everything he needs to know. That's why he's still been a big league.
He also
now.
gave me a shoe. He probably doesn't remember. He gave me a shoe. He signed a shoe for me.
Yes,
for
I
me
did
and
before I
Solak.
left. Yes.
He signed
What?
a shoe for me and Solak, but
My
I won't. It's a good message between me and Todd. I won't say what he put on there.
I don't even remember
Oh
what I said.
no! You gotta
No,
you
well,
gotta tell us.
Why is it
No,
not
I
appropriate?
can't. The Todd
Was it
Todd
really
Todd
bad?
Todd will call me
It's
back.
that bad.
It's that
Okay,
bad.
okay. Wait, did he sign? Now here's the question: because he doesn't even remember you as a teammate. He thought your
Yeah,
name was Lou Trevino, but he's like, oh, we have the catcher on. No, did he sign one cleat and give it to you?
yes.
Yes.
And
he signed
Solak
one
the other
for me.
cleat?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. One cleat for me, one cleat for Solak.
That is no. I'm not giving you pound.
No,
That's
thank you,
brutal.
I got you.
I
I
didn't,
got
have,
you.
I didn't have
Thank you.
anything left over. I had to order it. That's it.
Oh, not even any batting gloves?
no, I
Right,
didn't. I went like this with him, as I told you. And I put him in Scotty's face.
Jose. If you go to his house sometime, you guys have an off day. And
Well,
you
he could.
come down.
An off day, he should just drive down. He'll go to upstate New York and hang out with somebody. He won't come to me. It's okay.
His
Right.
house is full of cleats and gear and memorabilia galore, and he's got a
Oh, I
garage full of memorabilia. He's got a basement in his garage full of memorabilia, and he gave you one cleat, and he wants your custom mask. Tell him to piss off.
One smelly ass, worn down cleat. That's what he gave me.
Terrible.
Come on, man. It wasn't worn down. Come on.
Oh, it wasn't even game used, Jose.
It
Todd,
was game used.
Oh,
I have it right here, Todd.
Oh, please.
yes. Let's see
Hey,
it.
show him
Go
without
get
the
it.
words on there. Show him without the
Yeah,
words.
yeah.
I
This just
honestly,
keeps getting
I
better.
probably said something nasty on there. I don't even remember what I said.
Is that you? You do that?
Oh, I love doing that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So
now
you
look,
can't
and
display
he
it.
still has it. See, he
Right,
shows
it's
his,
you're
he shows his
saying
boys. Look what he wrote. you
It's
know?
memorable.
It's memorable.
I'm gonna text.
I hope
him.
he didn't just fall down.
I gotta text him, see exactly.
No,
what
he's
I
coming
wrote.
back. He's got it.
Okay. Oh, New Balance? You didn't even wear New Balance.
You can't even see the words anymore. Look how worn down these cleats are. Look at this. Look at
Oh
that.
my goodness.
They were
That is-
used, game used.
Would you pitch? You got to. I mean, come on, bro. You weren't even.
Dude, I was struggling.
He took
I
Jose.
was struggling.
Jose, he took somebody's cleat out of someone else's locker, signed it for you, wrote a. Yeah, it still smells.
That's
Anyway,
terrible.
Whatever.
Jose, how's the rehab, John, going? Are you going crazy in your head right now, like being hurt?
Yeah. It's going good though. I was able to. I had some physical therapy yesterday. I met with a doctor and stuff, so everything looks good. The scar is disgusting, but I'm getting better. I feel a lot better too, so it's cool. I'm getting better. So it's my wrist.
Ooh, there we go. That's
Damn.
cool. That's
How long-
like futuristic looking.
Yeah.
Kratz, you know what this is? This is the
Stuff you use a thumb
guard.
guard.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is what we use for a thumb guard, but this thing is really, really tight. So, yeah.
How long you got to wear that for?
Oof. I wear this for I think 6 weeks. Sorry. Three more weeks, and then I cut it down, and then it only goes to like right here, I want to say. So we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. But
Probably smells like
We'll be
cottage
good.
cheese when you take that thing off.
well, it has air vents, and I'm wearing a sock under it, so it doesn't smell as bad as your shoe.
No, listen, it's 130 degrees where you're at right now, bud. Don't
It
go
is.
outside with that thing.
It is. It's so hot.
Hey, how did you? I just want to know how did you manage through the season? Because I know you mentioned like right away. No, there's a fly. There's a fly. It's from the shoe. It came over here.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So during the season, you were playing through this. It started becoming a problem in spring.
It first happened in spring, so I just kind of was like, let's see what we got. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how long we can go. I mean, for the most part, it was like it's going to be pain management. So basically, how much pain can you take until you can't take any? But talking to the doctors, everybody knew that it was going to come to a point like this. So it was like, all right, let's see how much I can do.
When was it the worst? Throwing, swinging, and missing. When you actually hit the ball, like what was the worst?
Man, swinging and missing, foul balls, hitting, throwing.
Oh my God.
So when didn't it hurt?
Mean, it was just there, and just kind of like, all right, let's see what. Let's just kind of get through it. You know what I mean? I know there's no asterisks in baseball, so like you're out there, you're healthy. You know what I mean? And I love to play the game, so I wasn't gonna just give in like that. I was like, all right, if I feel like I can help the team, I'm still gonna be out there. So
That's tough.
It's very
He
tough.
didn't even
That's
answer.
real,
There's
though.
not one point where he was like, where did it hurt the most? And he's like, well, how much time you got? Like,
Life.
Hey, I was talking to your boy finally hit me back, Kiner Falefa, the other day, and we had some good
my
conversation.
guy, bro.
Hey,
That's my guy.
he's the best. He's been hitting well, man. And I asked him, I said, what was the difference? He says, I'm getting more leverage on my backside. My bat plane is level. He's talking about not trying to push the ball the other way and getting out in front. And I remember when we were in Texas, that's what he used to do. He would hit it the other way, but with power. Like, what do you vote his success to? I mean, I know there's a lot of things going on, but he made a slight adjustment where it's tough for some guys to do.
I think the timing in his leg kick, him being ready to hit, not just like see the ball and get my foot down and go. Like he's like separating, he's getting in his back leg, and what he talked about was being out in front towards the baseball. Like this dude is smacking baseballs right now. You know what I mean? And I mean, to be honest, like everybody that played with Kiner knows Kiner. Like he's gonna find a way. Like you put this dude, you lock him in a room, and you're not gonna escape. Kiner's gonna find a way to escape. Like Kiner can do that. So like him being able to make adjustments on the fly, he's always been able to do that. Ever since I play with him, he's always been able to make adjustments on the fly. So, that's what makes him good. And I think right now what he's doing is pretty cool to watch.
And Yankees fans are giving him love, right? Like, we know Yankees fans can be
Yeah.
tough on the guys when they're not playing well, but they're like, hey, this is one of the guys that's got it going right now. So I know
Yeah.
you've always got your boys' backs. Did you see, it was like maybe a week ago, when Stephen A. Smith had the rare 1 minute that he talked
Guy's a
about
clown. That
baseball
guy
and he
doesn't know
couldn't say his
anything.
name and he's like, they got to get rid of him. Did you hear? I mean,
that's
obviously it went viral just because he couldn't pronounce it. And they're like, dude, he's hitting. They're like, you haven't watched one speck of baseball
Yeah.
since who
Yeah.
knows when.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. Him and I got other people on that list, but like him, like you don't listen to any of that crap. Like that stuff doesn't make any sense. Like you didn't even have to hear the whole thing. You just had to hear how he pronounced his name. And first off, that's disrespectful. Second off, like that tells you how serious he is about watching baseball. So his opinion doesn't matter. It won't ever matter to anybody. So
No doubt.
he just goes out there and just talks.
You love when critics get after it, especially guys that don't even watch the game, right? You were always good with that.
And he doesn't like my Cowboys. He doesn't like my Cowboys, so
nope.
I don't want to hear anything he has to say.
Hey, the Cowboys don't like your Cowboys, so it doesn't really matter.
Cowboys
You're not
love
old
my
enough to have
Cowboys.
seen the Cowboys win.
Wow.
Bro, don't be talking about my Cowboys.
He's got the helmet.
Oh, wow. You bought a helmet. Sick. It's not going to get him more W's.
Where's he going?
Me talking about my Cowboys like that.
Oh, my goodness. Doesn't even fit. Just like the Cowboys in the NFC East. Doesn't even fit.
Hey.
Me talking about my Cowboys like that.
Oh, there's somebody signed that too.
Oh,
Who was
let's
that?
go.
Emmett?
It's a little CD Lamb.
Nice.
Not bad.
That's a good signature.
All right, all
That
jokes aside, don't put that helmet on again.
Yeah.
Who's your squad?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, baby.
Oh, right.
Let's
Your
go.
Bucks, your Eagles.
Yeah.
Hey, serious now. You're terrible.
Okay, be serious.
No, I want to talk. I want to talk about Luis Severino for a minute. You're a catcher.
Yeah.
He's going through a tough spurt right now. As a
Yeah.
catcher, you have the meetings every day. You talk about it. He's still throwing in the upper 90s. It just seems like he doesn't have that bite on his off-speed pitches to me when I saw him last, and the confidence. He's talking about this, the worst season of my life. What can you do as a catcher? Have you talked to him about it? What's the situation you think you can help out with there?
So like the first thing that you said, like, I think you're like, oh, his stuff is good. His stuff is good. His stuff is still really good. But I think the main part of it, and you know this, guys who have played the game know this, like confidence, bro. Like you can't play this game without any confidence. Like when you do that, yeah, you're gonna feel the worst because everybody out there is really, really confident, you know. And for me, like what I did from afar, like obviously I can't be there to catch him or anything like that. I caught him a couple times, but the stuff was good. But yesterday, you know, I sent him a little message. I sent him some highlights, and I was like, no matter what, like this might feel like the worst time of your career, but like no matter what you've done, people can't take away from you, and how you answer is how people are gonna respond to you. Like you're gonna say, like, you know what, I'm gonna go back out there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pitch. I'm gonna do my job, and how it turns out is how it turns out. But I said, don't forget who you are. Don't forget what's got you here. Don't forget, like, not too long ago, you know, last year, this dude was shoving, you know, and that's not far-fetched. Like, everybody knows it's in there. And I have the ultimate confidence in Sevy to come out, you know, and dig deep and find a way to get himself better. You know, this is a big time in his career. He's going to hit free agency, you know, and this is a time to set up his kids, set up his family for a long time, you know, and there's still 2 months left in the season. Like, this dude can come out and do his thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's what matters.
Who was somebody in your career that taught you that? Because you can't just learn that on your own. Like, who did that for you, or who said that for you?
A book that I read.
Nice. Really? What book?
I mean, but there's of course people, like I've had guys. I mean, you know, Todd was really good in Texas, man. Todd helped out me, Solak, and all the young guys a lot. Jeff Mathis, Charlie Culberson, a lot of the guys that were in Texas, man, when we were going through a tough time, like Brock Holt. Brock Holt is one of them. Brock Holt's one of my favorites, man. But those are the kind of guys, like, you look in their eyes, man, and you could tell that they've been through it. And like, even if they do go through a rough streak, you look at their face, you look at their eyes, and they're like, whatever, man, like this is gonna pass. I know how good I am. I know how good I can be, and at some point I'll turn it around. So that's the kind, like those guys, like the veterans. Those are the guys that help out a lot.
All right, so we're talking about another pitcher. Maybe lost a little bit of confidence. Just got DFA'd by the Yankees. Mi hijo, Davy Garcia. Did you get
He's
to
good too.
talk to Davey at all? Like when he
Yeah.
came up to AAA in 2019, and I got to catch him. You know, we joked about it. It was my hijo, and he would say, "Papa, mi hijo," and like we had this connection. And I thought this kid had incredible confidence. I thought he had incredible stuff, and I watched his mechanics from some of the developmental things in the minor leagues completely switch to this like somebody I didn't even recognize who was healthy for the most part. He ran through a couple injuries. What did you see from Davey, and was there something that, you know, the Yankees could have done differently for him?
I caught him like a handful of times. I thought his stuff played well. You know what I mean? And talk about like I feel like confidence wise, like when he get out there, he was like, "Ooh, let's roll." You know what I mean? But sometimes it just doesn't pan out. You know, no matter who you are, maybe some people just need to change the scenery, man. That happens all the time. You know, I'm not one to be like, "Oh yeah, we could have done this, could have done that." Like, it's baseball; you can't predict anything. That's why you have projections and prospects and what can be, what could be. You know, but like nothing is ever set in stone. So I'm happy for him. He's going to the White Sox. You know, maybe he can change some things up. He can find himself again. You never know, man. You never know. Sometimes it's just a change of scenery.
Okay, let's get to the trade deadline because they're in it right now, right? But it's a tough race in the American League. Yanks, you got Middleton, who can definitely handle some innings in relief, and we had a little fun with him. Obviously, he was calling out the old boys and then had to go back in there. But I like it. I like it. We like the transparency, obviously. I was gonna say, like, is that your favorite move? Because did you want more?
I mean, he's good. No, I mean, I think we have the guys in that clubhouse, man. Like, you look around at our roster, you look around the guys that go out there every day, like we have it. You know what I mean? And everybody has that confidence. So like we can turn things around. We still got a lot of time. You know, it sucks that I'm not able to play because I feel so useless. But I'm still like doing some scouting reports here and there, looking at these hitters, and if I see anything, kind of telling Benny, like, hey, you might want to check this out. And if Higgy asks me or Cole or anybody asks me, I have an opinion. You know what I mean? I want to do everything I can to help my team win, whether that's, you know, watching from afar, doing scouting reports, still throwing in my reports, that kind of stuff. But I mean, you look around, like the guys are in that clubhouse, man. The guys are in that clubhouse, and you know, like the big part is Judge. Judge coming back, you know, he can do his thing, man. He can go off. Stanton can go off, and then when Riz comes back, you know, we'll see what happens.
I love that because I remember I've covered the Astros a lot in the past, and sometimes they'd be like, Maldonado will come up to me and give me this great tip and be like, yo, I can't hit, but let me tell you what you should do. So I like that, right? Like right now, you literally can't hit. Let me tell you what you should do.
Yeah.
So can you give me one, like pick to click, like one dude that you think is going to finish strong that you're looking at and you're like, yo, I like what I'm seeing from him. You know, obviously we already mentioned IKF, but is there anyone else that you're watching? Because obviously you're watching the games, you're watching video, you're talking to the guys, and you've got, we'll get into this in a sec, but you got a new hitting coach. So what are you seeing?
I want to pick them all. I want to pick all my guys. All my guys are picks to clicks. They're going to go off, all of them, every single one of them. Every single one of them.
That's what Sean Casey would say.
Like, I told you he was going to go off. I told you. But like I said, I can't. We talked about prediction and prospects. I can't predict anything, man. I don't know. But from the looks of it, our whole team's going to go off. We're going to be fine.
I'm close with Sean Casey for years. So, and I know he's
one
of the new head honchos there. So tell me what life's like with him, because I'm so curious because I know him a certain way. Is he coming in to the clubhouse like all fired up, getting the boys going?
Man.
Is he hanging with them afterward to be like, yo, let's just like grab a beer and talk hitting for an hour?
No. I mean, I haven't been there much. I'm not traveling with them right now, but for the time that I was there, man, he was great. You know, he was going up to guys trying to get to know him, and like everybody knows that have played this game, like you just don't get to know somebody on the field and what their swing is like and what they bring to the table. Like you get to know their family, you get to know where they're from, what they're about. And I think that's what Sean Casey has done, like incredible of, you know, and I think the other guys there, the other head coaches are doing a great job too.
All right, so you haven't been around him much. Has he told you a story, or have you been there to hear a Sean Casey story yet?
I've heard a few stories.
Can you tell us
I've
which
heard-
one's your favorite that you can tell
No,
on
I know case stories.
There's some good ones, though.
Oh,
There's-
yeah. No, he has some, like his interactions with people at first base, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, he's probably one of the best Reds players to ever play, you know, ever hit home runs. One of the best ever.
Dang.
How many derbies did he win, though?
None.
Hey, no, time out. Let's get this right. Todd, you cheated, man. You didn't win
What?
that derby. Come
What?
on. You were hitting before the ball landed. You know the rules.
Here we
You broke
go,
the rules.
bro.
You
Here
broke the
we go.
rules.
Listen,
Yes, he's a cheater.
listen.
You broke the rules, Todd.
Don't be jealous, spread like relish, kid. I want
Hey,
that whole thing fair and square.
remember we were supposed to have a home run derby, me and you.
Yeah, and you were gonna lose a lot of money. Oh no!
I don't
Listen,
gamble on baseball. So I don't know what you're talking about. Losing money.
Monopoly money. Remember we played Monopoly all the time?
Yeah.
Hey, but
Defend
when
yourself.
we did
the ball
do
land?
the home run derby against. We had the two teams. Remember, you only hit one. I hit two. I won. Anyway,
What was the rule
what?
in the derby?
So
The
no, it
time
was
rule.
like 8-on-8, like in spring training. We did it during the COVID.
No. That's not what we're talking about.
No,
We're talking
I'm
about your
saying the
You were
derby
hitting
derby.
baseballs before they were landing.
You broke the
I
rules?
Too
didn't,
high.
I didn't break any rule. Listen, you know where I'm from. Cut the shit.
Also, you weren't
Anyway.
pitching. Who was pitching?
My brother.
Your bro.
I was telling him. I said, throw the damn ball. Hey, last question from me. You better cut it out too. I'm going to hit you up after this. You're going to get your ass whooped. Anyway, what do the Yankees have to do to get in the playoffs, man? They're the ebbs and flows of the year. They talk about all the time. You got to get over that hump. You got to win the games you're supposed to. You got 47 games against. I think like 31 of them are against some top tier opponents. What do you guys have to do? Because nothing's connecting right now.
Yeah, dude, it's just hard. Like I said, it's hard, man. This game is tough. You just got to go out there and play the game, play defense, move runners, score runs, and throw the ball well on the mound, man. But I feel like we're gonna give it a run, man. I feel like we're gonna be good. I'm excited to follow along. I'm excited to be back, you know, with the team, see what, you know, how the atmosphere is there. Maybe I can bring a little kickstart or something, but you know, just finish strong, man. We dig in there for an extra gear for this next month. We go from there.
There you
Hey,
go.
just make sure. I'm going to text you my address again. Send that mask over. Don't be cheap, ass. Send me the mask. Blakester's
see.
going to love it.
Get a replica.
No, Blakester's going to
I'll
love
send you one of these, man. I'll send you one of these.
Yes. Wow.
Is that your son?
Can you sign that?
Is that my son? Bro,
Yeah,
look
is
at
that
the
your
year.
little
It's the
boy?
year that you were in the big leagues.
1999.
No, that's 98.
That's him.
Yeah, so after we won, you're like, dude, I need to play baseball now because Todd Frazier won it all. I get it.
Let's
Nice
go. It's
signature.
signed. It's signed.
OZT.
4-1-55.
Oh my God, you're 55 pounds at 4 years old. Jesus, that's
No,
unbelievable.
stop it.
7 years old.
Make them different.
Incredible.
Make them different here.
Incredible. Don't send the actual. Just send them like
Hey,
the
shut
replica.
it, Scotty. I want
The
the real
replica.
deal. I don't want fake. There's no phoniness up here in the Northeast, baby.
Jose, great catching up, dude. Keep doing your thing. Keep rehabbing. We'll get you in a few weeks. All right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. We'll
Cheers.
see y'all.
Fun.
See you,
See you,
nerd.
Hose.
Had you not had Jose when you were
No.
on? No, that was the first Todd.
That was
Father
definitely
Jose
the first
interaction?
No,
Oh,
maybe the second.
there was
No
one
way.
other.
No, there was any interaction like this before
No.
because I love that. I love the fact that he owns a space in your head.
He doesn't own any space.
It's
That
like a
was
pool.
fantastic.
You know how
he
much
does
money
back-
it is to get up in here?
He paid it.
No, well,
It's
if
easy.
he did,
I could see it.
he needs to move out.
It
of
was
his
like
house.
yesterday. It was like yesterday when we had Max on,
Yeah.
and we had trouble with the link right out of the gate, and Scherzer was like kind of, he was kind of frustrated, and AJ the whole time was like, I'm so flummoxed. I'm so nervous because Max is going to be mad. He's going to be. Oh, now he's mad.
I didn't
Hi,
know,
Max.
I didn't know he was like
and I was
that.
like, wow. I was like, we found AJ's kryptonite.
No,
it was Max Scherzer.
I will say.
He sticks up for him.
No, I was next to him.
This guy loves him. He
was
was
not that concerned.
Yeah.
He was concerned, just like you were concerned about Jose. Not as much.
I was concerned about what I wrote.
I don't know. I didn't feel it. Sometimes I feel it. I didn't feel it that much.
You didn't feel it on that one.
I don't think he was that worried about it.
Bad vibe by me. Bad vibe.
I'm going to go with your vibe.
Reed. You?
I
Jose?
got all your backs.
Jose? Definitely. Definitely was in your head.
I've even
I'm
got
scared
kind of
about what I
Falefa's
wrote.
back. Stephen A. Don't call it kind of
Yeah,
Falefa.
what
You
the
can't
hell
even
was
say
What
his
did he
damn
call
name.
him? Like,
If you're on
Did you
TV,
see that rant?
that was
It
terrible.
was ridiculous.
You got to know the dude's name. You can't say person's name.
He wasn't even close.
That was
And then
terrible.
because they're like, "What do you think about the Yanks?" And he's like, "I'm sick of that Keanophili snake, whatever." Like,
Yeah,
and I'm
and
like,
he's tearing it up.
and all the Yanks fans were like, "Dude, he's one of the only guys that's actually hitting. Watch
Unbelievable.
one speck of the game, or you don't even have to watch. Look at a stat. Do something." So anyway,
I thought
all
it
right.
was an old clip.
No, it's new.
Trust me, that's
It's
going to
a
get
week
some
or
play
two
because
old.
Jose had his back. I like it. So there's two things left for us to do. One is slap hands, which will play a little game. But before that, I want to make sure that we show you a little clip from Legends territory. Okay, Mark McGwire spoke with AJ and me, and it has gotten a lot of play everywhere. Let's show you a little piece.
It's up to the committee. The committee's with some of the Hall of Famers and a few riders, I believe. And so, I mean, if it does, it's fantastic. I mean, it would be an unbelievable moment. But I'm not going to expect it. To your point, like saying that I'm a nice guy is like that's all I thought about was being nice to my teammates and respect my teammates. And the thought that people forget they look at what happened, but the thought of what it's not like I meant to have this happen. It's just like it just happened, and to basically put baseball on my back and turn it around and get people to love the game again after what we did in '94. And it's just one of those things I think a lot of people forgot about that.
That's Legends territory that just came out. Okay, you can watch it on the Foul Territory YouTube channel, or if you go to our channel, its own section, or you can listen to it on Apple or Spotify if you want to check it out. Mark McGwire, I haven't heard from him in a while. Unfiltered conversations with former players. It was good, and there's a lot there. It's about an hour. We hit a lot of topics. His combos with Judge, Ohtani, obviously. What's getting all the pub is the steroid era. We asked him if he should have Hall of Fame consideration. He said unfairly treated on that front. And the one that stood out to me, hey, I put the sport on my back at that point. He did. During that time period, the sport was on his back. And my thing is, a lot of league people knew what was going on. We could spend time on it another time, but a lot of people knew what was going on. And Mark's kind of played like I was playing along with a lot of others. So
it's a great offseason topic, I think. I think he did an incredible job, and he was so authentic through the entire show because I had him as a hitting coach, and I saw how he was as a hitting coach and just as a person. Like everybody needs to check that out because the clips have gone viral, are really good. The whole thing was great. He was really good.
He's really good. Yeah, because he's been reserved at times just in general, kind of quiet. When he was coaching, he didn't really do the interviews and all that. And he was like, let's go. Let's get after it. So check that out. And let's play a little game during Slap Hands. Okay, last 2 minutes here. It's called the Trend Name Game. Jay Kuda, who is a great Twitter follow, put this out. I don't know if he made the game, but I need help. I've never played this before. We didn't get the answers or anything. Okay, so we're going to show an example. They gave us an example of one so that we could understand. You get shown objects. It comes up to a baseball player's name. So play this one out. We know the answer to this one.
It's an apple core.
Yeah.
So it's a core.
We talked about this before the show.
And there's a bin. And then, see, I wouldn't have gotten the Burns. And this is what I mean, it's Corbin Burns.
No,
but I wouldn't have gotten that. I would have
Would
been
you have
like,
gotten it? Our
rash.
producer Claudia is like, I can get these. You guys will
No.
get them, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty ditzy.
Claudia's.
That's pretty cool.
Things go over me pretty easily. So
We used to
You
do
and
this
me
at
both.
Christmas, and they do the same sheet at Christmas, and they have like the pictures. It's the same sheet every year for the last 20 years, and I forget every one of them. So Claudia's saying what she did. I don't
Is this a
appreciate
new
it.
one?
iRobot. So that's
see, I don't know who that is. Is that like a character from
It
one
is.
of those
His name is
Pixar shows or
Wally.
something?
Wally.
Wally.
Back
Pip.
then.
Wally. I don't know what that thing is.
You're Mr. DIY.
Yeah,
I
what
know
is
that's a
that
tool. It's like a router. It's a biscuit. Wally biscuit.
Wally Joyner.
Wally Joyner.
Is
Yeah.
it Wally Joyner?
Yeah, Wally Joyner. Has to be Wally Joyner.
Is
Wally.
it? It's Wally
Yeah,
Joyner.
there
Nice.
we go.
Yeah.
Good
One for
work.
one.
I saw the biscuits. It's really
I
tough to
was
see
just
the
thinking
picture.
of baseball names Wally.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
There we go.
No, you're good.
All right, what do we got?
Okay, tall guy. The
Microphone.
weight and Wilson. Somebody Wilson. Who's Wilson? Wes Wilson? No.
No, it's got to be not AJ Wilson.
Wilson Ramos. Somebody Wilson. Jack Wilson. Jack? No. Ton. Weston Wilson.
Preston Wilson.
Preston Wilson.
Preston Wilson.
Wow.
Preston
See, we're
Wilson.
not that good.
Because it's the
We're
press,
not that
yeah.
good.
What do you mean? You
Dang
haven't
it.
even helped.
No, I'm not. I'm not
He's not.
helping that much. I told you,
He's
I'm not good
into
at
it.
this.
He's not
He's
into
No,
not
I'm
into-
into it. I'm
He likes
into it.
games.
One more time.
I was a slow
There we
test
go.
taker, so this
Okay.
takes me a while. We don't have time.
It's
like
definitely night. That's a blue jay or a bluebird. B bird.
that. BJ,
BJ Knight. No. Knight.
BJ Hassel,
BJ.
because it's
Upton.
Hasselhoff, right?
No.
BJ. I feel like I'm pretty good there. Surhoff.
Sirhoff.
Hasselhoff.
Oh,
Surhoff.
wow.
BJ Sirhoff.
That's got to be BJ Surhoff, right? Can someone give me confirmation?
Because it's Hasselhoff.
It is? Nice.
BJ
Let's go.
Sirhoff.
Let's go.
Well done.
Don't
You
call
showed
me
up-
out.
Let's
You
go.
showed up
I'm
for one,
sneaky.
and you're a gamer.
Costanza, see ya.
See.
Do we have one more to finish? One more.
Oh yeah.
So we got
Eagle
a hawk or
Lots.
an eagle, right?
Son.
That's Hawaiian bread. I
Son.
love that bread.
Hawk Harrelson.
Hawk.
Yes?
Harrelson?
Yes.
Oh, my
Let's go,
God.
baby.
Hawk.
Let's go.
Hair roll.
Hair.
Hair.
I saw the hair, but
Roll.
roll.
Son.
Son.
Okay.
I told you.
Once
You
Top
told me the
Father
answer.
called me out, I lost it. Okay?
Beautiful.
Something just clicked for me.
Scott is a first rounder at Pictionaries and all
Wow.
Saturday night games that you play.
Yeah.
So
he's a
You
first
know
rounder.
that's me on Saturday night.
And he's getting 5 to 10 hits in the show if you give him 650 at bats.
Woo.
I would love
Feeling
650
good. I'm going
at bats.
straight to the tables right now.
1-5.
Straight to the
1-5.
tables. All right. Hey, thanks everyone. This was awesome. We do this most of the time every other week. We'll check out the schedule. We'll post it for you where we're at Borgata here in Atlantic City. Kratz, Todd, Father, what's on your hat?
San Francisco Gigantes.
Really simple.
I was a Giant. It's a very simple hat. Very simple. I was actually the same size even when I played for the Giants. So I was just a San Francisco Giant. I wasn't any bigger when I was on the team, just so you guys know that.
I know what you're saying there. I know what
Yes.
you're saying. Very clever. And by the way, the shirt, you can find those either here, we sell them right here, or foulterritoryshop.com. They are the softest shirts. I promise you. That's the guarantee.
Yes.
Okay. We'll see everyone on Monday on FT Live. What a day. Let's go.